Hello gang, welcome to the Adrel Show. We basically look at World of Warcraft gold making as well as a little bit of mount collecting and general alt army fun stuff in the War Within. We are in Khazalgar. Expansions, the new World of Warcraft expansion is just over a week old, and there is so much to do, so much gold to be made, and good God have I been making a whole bunch of gold. I haven't opened any of my mailboxes. I thought that might be fun to do on stream, but so we're going to start off the stream by doing that, just going through and seeing sort of where I am on Friday's stream. For those of you who joined us, welcome anyone who's watching live, by the way. If you're watching the video on demand later, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching live, thank you for joining us. Drop a message in chat. Let me know what's up. Are you guys enjoying the War Within? Are you enjoying all the new profession stuff? Are you enjoying all the new content and all the other new ways to make gold and collect mounts and do everything else there is to do in this game? Heck, farm renown. Lord knows I'm absolutely loving the fact that at any given point there's like 1,000,001 things that I still need to do. But of course, today's stream being the Monday stream will primarily focus on gold making, and also being a Monday, we'll just focus on wrapping up some of the weekly tasks that I haven't gotten around to on my alts. I've mainly been spending a lot of time over the weekend focusing on enchanting, and I have made a whole bunch of gold, but I've also spent a boatload of gold on enchanting, Lord knows. I've gotten 2 enchanters to the point that I'm fairly satisfied with them, although just before the stream I figured out another way to get a couple more knowledge points that we'll talk about in a second as well. But yeah, overall beyond that, mainly focusing on profession equipment. The main thing I focused on, like I said, was enchants, and we've made a whole bunch of gold through that. Would I recommend enchanting to anyone else? Honestly, not really. Not because I fear competition. Just because of the fact that A, it's very expensive, and B, it's very tedious. And I've already had to break out a bunch of spreadsheets. I may share some of those on stream later on, and if you guys are interested, I would be happy to share those, but let me know in the comments or chat if that is the case, and if you guys want me to make a version for public consumption that sort of has some instructions and things like that as well. But yeah, so overall, we're going to start off, we'll start off on my main, who is enchanting and jewel crafting. We'll probably try and figure out a bit of a jewel crafting build. I actually have just been gathering knowledge points very casually on my main for jewel crafting. I've just been so focused on enchanting that I haven't really gotten around too much to the other professions. I have a couple of other characters that are doing things like concentration builds in tailoring, right? I've gotten a couple of tailors set up now. I think I have a total of 3 tailors set up. One's focused on profession equipment. The other 2 are focused on each of the spell threads. But again, there's still a lot more optimization to do there. On Friday's stream, we went over basically what more or less everything that's needed to like one time get a character set up with their professions, right? So on Friday's stream, we trained the professions. We started learning we did all of the first craft bonuses. We leveled up the professions as far as we could get them with trainer recipes, and then we flew around, looted all the knowledge point treasures, and lastly, we farmed up some Kej, which is a currency that you get in the final zone of Ajkahet, and we use that to buy some more knowledge point books. And if none of this makes any sense, please drop a message in chat, and I will be more than happy to explain the basics of the profession system for any of you who may not be familiar with it, or heck, if if you would prefer, I'm happy to make a little video explaining the whole thing, right? I've been meaning to do it, and then I just got distracted by beta stuff, and now that the live version of the War Within has shipped, I've just been busy doing stuff in the actual game, which is, like I said, there's 1,000,001 things to do, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so today's stream will basically focus on, I think, the more important part, right? I think at this point, there's plenty of guides out there on getting knowledge points, on leveling up the professions. I don't think there's a lot of value that I can add there as such. I will quickly touch on the enchanting thing, because I know that I've been min-maxing enchanting, and I miss the source of knowledge points completely. So if you are doing enchanting, you need to get these last 3 knowledge points, because trust me, everyone else has them, I would assume, or anyone else you're competing with probably already has these. And despite the fact that I spent the entire weekend min-maxing enchanting, these still flew under my radar. And 3 more enchanting, 3 more knowledge points, right? It can make a pretty big difference. Never mind the 15 artisan security that you get from it as well. So we'll get to that in a second. But The other thing that I wanted to, yeah, so basically the focus for today's stream is more so how do you pick a good build, right? It's fine and dandy to have all the knowledge points, to have all of the to have your the profession leveled up, but it's really a lot more difficult to figure out where you should spend those knowledge points and sort of what sort of materials or what sort of end product you should focus on. Is firstly because of the fact that it really depends on, I would say, your server, but in most cases it's probably more your region, given that we now have region-wide trading, right? So it's less so that, but it definitely depends on your region and sort of the economics around that. And it also largely depends on your play style. And then lastly, I would say it depends on sort of what you're trying to do, right? For me personally, my play style is that I don't mind playing a good bit, but I don't like doing monotonous things. That's why I got into gold making because of the shuffles, but I tend to stay away from shuffles by and large, mainly because of the fact that, and when I say shuffles, I mean, I should probably be a bit more specific. I like shuffles, but I like shuffles that I can do in bulk, right? Something that I can hit the craft all button or the prospect all button or something like that on. That I'm okay doing. Something like a disenchanting shuffle or what are good other good examples? I mean, maybe unraveling, right? Something like disenchanting. There is a lot of gold, right? A lot of people are out there making a whole bunch of gold with disenchanting. There's a whole bunch of guides, right? There's a lot of content creators talking about all the gold you can make with disenchanting. And while that may be true, while that is true, right? You can make a whole bunch of gold by just specking disenchanting and disenchanting a bunch of mats, right? Dust is especially valuable right now, the enchanting dust. And so there are a bunch of different ways to make gold with that, but I don't particularly want to spend my time spamming, the one key while standing in Dornagal, and making, maybe 50, 100 gold every time I press the button, right? Even if you do it with the craft speed enchant and whatever, and you're really optimize it, right? You really min-max it, and let's say you're getting 100 gold, 200 gold, 300 gold every time you press the button. I mean, that's still time that you could be spending doing literally anything else, right? And I know that some people like it because they can put on a TV show and sort of just focus on the TV show while spamming, whatever macro they have to disenchant all their items. But I just don't find it super fun. I would much rather hop onto a character, right? Use up my concentration and craft myself something that's going to make me a 20,000 gold profit, and then log off and hop onto another character and do the same thing on that character, right? If you played much of Remix at all, you probably, like me, have a bunch of alts. So we're definitely not at the stage, right, where I think anyone probably has their full alt army up and running. Although, just in saying that, I mean, I'll never say never, because I'm sure there are some people who've really done the sweaty no life stuff and gotten all this out of the way, right? So I gotta ban someone in chat. All right, in any case, what we want to do is, so I much prefer gold farms that that generate a lot more value and that I can do semi AFK almost, right? Not completely AFK, but that sort of requires more babysitting than it does than it requires active involvement from me, even if that's just as simple as spamming the same key over and over again to disenchant stuff. But yeah, so I think those are the three things that are most important in selecting a build. Is 1, looking at your economics, right? Looking at the advantages you have. 2, what is your play style? How do you plan on doing this? And 3, what do you actually want to do, right? You can have the most optimized prospecting build, but if you just somehow don't enjoy prospecting, or if you don't enjoy the I was gonna say the prospect, if you don't enjoy the prospect of prospecting, you're probably not gonna make a bunch of gold with it because you're just not gonna do it, right? That's what I've found happens with me a lot of times, or happened a couple times during Dragonflight, right? Where I put together this profession build that on paper would just print money, right? Would just print gold, but I didn't particularly enjoy it, and so I just never ended up getting around to actually doing it. Which, as always, is a gold per hour decrease. So essentially, I wanna go through what that process is like. How do I figure out what builds I want to try next, or what builds I'm sticking on which characters? And then it requires a little bit of self-restraint, in the sense that I mean, I struggled with this myself, right? Because I kind of want every character to be able to craft everything at max rank, right? And that's not something that's necessarily going to pay off. That's not the way to make a bunch of gold in the War Within. What you want to do is you want to... Luckily, we have a bunch of alts, right? Or ideally, hopefully we have a bunch of alts. And if not, it's pretty painless to level up an alt. But past a certain point, you are going to be able to make more gold. Rather than spending that time on one character and really trying to min-max everything on them, you're probably going to make more gold by hopping onto another character, picking up a different profession, or picking up the same profession and going a different route with your knowledge points and with your artisan's acuity and stuff like that. And so that's sort of what I've done, right? That's why I have 3 enchanters who are all pretty high effort, and all 3 are making me gold in different ways. We'll get into some of those ways. I don't want to quite give away all my secrets, but how about this? If you guys leave a comment or message in chat, then I may give away more of my secrets than I was planning on. Yeah, so that's how we'll do that. In any case, I suppose I could show the items that we are making gold with. There's nothing really confidential about that. But as you can see, we've been doing a bunch of different enchants here, right? It's a whole bunch of different enchants that we've been selling, and we've brought in 1.6 million gold. I think probably what we should do is just look at my overall gold picture to begin with, right? And let's go back to the start of the War Within. Is this really 1 week? I have a feeling that this drop here is because Trade Skill Master wasn't seeing the war bank at this point. Unless I'm mistaken. In any case, on Friday's stream, I was complaining about the fact that I haven't deployed enough capital, that I haven't been spending enough gold. And yeah, we don't have that problem as much anymore. I've spent probably about 2.5 million gold over the weekend. That said, of course, we have made back a bunch of it. The reason that the number looks a little bit less pretty than it usually does is because we haven't opened up the mail on either of my main bankers. I've opened up the mail on some of my bankers on other servers, but there was nothing super major there, right? If we look here, I mean, just on Stormdust rank 1s, I've spent about 1 million gold. Never mind rank 2 and 3 and stuff like that. I wonder if will the ledger tell me the expenses for a specific item? I suppose we can do it this way, but this will just give me the per item. I want to see the total item. Does it give me that? Oh, I may have to go to the Trade Skill Master website. In any case, what we're gonna do is first we will open up all of our mail. We'll see what's been selling, where I've been making the bulk of my gold. After that, we will spend a little bit of time just going over how I'm creating groups for all these so that I can really batch process all of this so that I can make my auction house management a lot easier, right? Trade Skill Master is still the GOAT for that. Now, depending on what you're doing, depending on what you're doing and your preferences, you may be one of those people who just prefers to manually post everything, and that's not a bad call, right? Prices are so volatile that that may be a better call if you can spare the time. For me, I'm doing this over a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different servers, a bunch of different, right? I have different crafting costs on different servers, on different characters and stuff like that. And so it's not really scalable. And so as a result, I've just created a bunch of Trade Skill Master groups that are just very easy, right? They have my cost rather built into the actual operation, right? And so it's just easier for me to post and cancel in bulk. But prices are all over the place. So even if you do this, I would strongly recommend that you, constantly keep checking which auctions are not getting posted. For instance, in this case, I need to check these two, right? Simply because of the fact that material prices are all over the place, right? There we go. We've sold another 11 or 12,000 gold worth of enchants just while we've been talking. In any case, let's go ahead and open up all of our mail. And so in our first mailbox here, I think this is the only mailbox for this character. We have 1.6 million gold. Let's go ahead and open that up. Right. And we'll see where our numbers get to after that. I'm going to keep that in the background while we are on our main. And for those of you who may be watching for the first time or just joining us on the stream, yes, I do dual box. Yes, I do it completely within the terms of service. As you can see, I'm manually alt tabbing between the windows, so this is very much within the terms of service. The only difference is this expansion, I have actually bothered to get the War Within on my banker account as well, which, I don't know. My thinking was that it may be more optimum for things like gathering knowledge points and doing the one-time doing the weekly gathers and things like that. Right. Overall, I no longer have one account that's just parked in Orgrimmar canceling and reposting auctions. So it may overall lead to less gold. But hey, I'm having fun with it, and that's what matters more, right? That's what I keep saying. When it comes to gold making, your gold per hour or however else you want to measure it is fine and great, right? All that stuff is amazing. If you're not having fun, you're not going to make as much gold because you're just not going to do it, right? Or worst case scenario, you're going to burn out and then stop playing the game, which is the worst possible gold per hour move that you can make. Anyway, what did we want to do on this character? We wanted to check our where is it? We wanted to check the recipe that we didn't sell for. All right, 1.3 million gold. Let's see where that brings us to. 1.6 million gold rather. And that brings us back over 30 million gold. Let's hop over to our other banker and open up mail there as well. So this banker is mainly just focused on enchanting. I use a separate banker for all of our for all the gear, right? All of the other stuff that I craft, right? Weapon stones and tool stones and all that other stuff. But basically, the plan for today's stream, I know I've said this like a million times, but let me reiterate. What we're gonna do is basically we're going to get all of our weekly chores, well, as many of our weekly chores done as we can, on as many of our characters as we can. After which we are going to spend a little bit of time looking at some of the builds and figuring out what we want to do, right? I have this blacksmith that I've leveled very casually, right? Has about 69 nice knowledge, but I haven't spent a single point of knowledge so far, and so I need to figure out how exactly I want to do the build for this. And more importantly, I want to show you guys how I'm calculating that, right? How am I using Craft Sim? How am I using overall auction house data, all of that other stuff to figure out a build that works for what I want this character to do, right? This character, I plan on probably having AFK in the background a lot, so anything that we can sort of queue up 100 of, queue up 1,000 of, and make a little bit of profit, I'm fine with, right? Other characters, I know I'm only going to log on to them every couple of days, and so I may put like a profession equipment build on them, right? Where I can just churn out some profession equipment, spam it out to all of the other servers that I trade on, right? That I have just banker alts, which anyone can create. Super easy, especially with the warbank, right? Use the warbank, transfer them to a different server, post them up for 24 hours, and then come back a day later to collect my gold and repost anything that hasn't sold. So there's characters that I'm focusing on that. There's other characters that I'm just focusing on concentration. So those characters I will log on probably every 3 days, 3.5 days, every 1,000 hours, basically, every 100 hours. So roughly every 4 days, actually, and use up their concentration and then log off and do something else on another character, right? And eventually the goal is to have an even split between each of these types of characters, or not an even split, but have a split to where it's actually feasible for me to do that. Not every single one of these characters is going to be a character that I have min-maxed the profession on, because guess what? I don't need to make gold. And second of all, it's also not the most efficient use of my time, right? Beyond a certain point, and personally, I think that point is leveling up the profession, doing your first craft bonuses where they're cheap, right? Number 3 is probably grabbing the knowledge point treasures. And number 4 is just checking their patron crafting orders and doing any of those things, right? Beyond that, there's not really a whole bunch of incremental value that those characters are going to get, because mainly they're going to be focused on using up concentration. And so getting additional knowledge points will give us a little bit more secondary stat, let's say, resourcefulness maybe, right? Multi-craft a little bit more maybe, and potentially will allow us to save a little bit by using cheaper mats, you know, if we push their profession skill a bit higher or whatever. But we're probably not going to put blue profession tools on them, for instance, right? We're probably not going to bother with things like tool enchants and we're not going to necessarily spend a bunch of gold trying to unlock every recipe and stuff like that as much as I am on my main crafter for each of these professions. And my main crafter may still not be necessarily all that that min-max, simply because of the fact that there's more gold to be made by sort of spreading myself wider as opposed to deeper. Right, there's one or two professions that I plan on really spending a lot of time and energy and doing a lot of effort and trying to keep up with the crowd on, and that will most likely be enchanting, just because that's where I've spent the most of my time right now. Hello, welcome everyone who's joining us on YouTube. I see we have a bunch of people joining us. What's up? If you're watching live, drop a message in chat. Let me know how it's going. Let me know if you've been making gold in the War Within, and if so, how you've been doing it, or if you're curious on how to make gold. Let me know about that too, and I will be more than happy to cover that. Right, throughout this entire thing, the more interactive the stream is, the more fun it always is. So if you've got any questions, if you want me to give you my thoughts on what you can do with the character, right? Early on in Dragonflight, I made a very unwise decision and went super hard into a disenchanting tree, only to figure out that I couldn't actually make even a fraction of the gold that I thought I would, simply because of the fact that there were a million other people running disenchanting trees, right? And so my main limiting factor wasn't the fact that I had enough knowledge points or skill or whatever, right? It was simply the fact that I was competing with everyone else to buy the exact same green items off the auction house to disenchant them for gold. And I just didn't find it super fun to sit at the auction house trying to find super cheap greens, right? Or blues or items to disenchant. And so I had to turn around my entire mains profession build. And did I lose out on a week? Yep. But was I able to figure out a way to make myself competitive in those markets in under a week? Heck yeah. And so if maybe you feel you bricked the profession on one of your characters, right? Maybe your main, maybe you decided to spend a bunch of knowledge points on something to make gold and it didn't work out. Let me know if any of those cases in the comments or in the chat if you're watching live, and I will be more than happy to break that down for you and sort of maybe try and give you some guidance on how you can fix that, to make sure that every single one of your characters that has a profession is churning out at least some remarkable amount of gold for you, right? At the very least, you'll be able to do something with concentration to produce about 50,000 gold every 2 or 3 days, right? Yeah, so we'll go over some of those. Now, enchanting. Like I said, enchanting, it's great. I've spent a bunch of time leveling up enchanting. It's amazing, right? I have made a decent bit of gold on it. Margins are pretty low, I'm not gonna lie. Right, in Dragonflight I was a little bit spoiled for choice because in the past couple of months I was mainly doing things like PvP gear where the margins are like 300%, 500%, right? Stupid numbers. With enchanting, you have to be more okay with 10, 20, 15% margins, right? The only thing is because of the fact that they sell in the region-wide auction house and that there's a decent bit of demand for them, is you'll probably move them pretty quick. But overall, if unless you really want to put in the time and energy to really min-max enchanting, you're probably not going to have a good time, and I find it difficult to recommend it to anyone as such. So yeah, I would say definitely think about it, right? Think about it. Yeah, consider whether or not it's something you actually want to do. The other thing that I actually need to do is also farm up some Council of Dornagol rep. And I should probably also figure out what else I need to do on my main, right, for the weeklies. Why does my background music have lyrics? Alright, let's see if we can't fix that real quick. Technical issues. Can I skip to the next track? All right, there we go. Head bop beats. Let's go with that instead. Yeah, technically I do need to do also all of the like weekly things, all the weekly activities, and I should probably do a Bountiful Delver too, simply because of the fact that with Bountiful Delves, you have a chance of getting a rep token, which we want. Because Lord knows I need all of the renown I can get. simply because of the fact that with each of the renowns, right, once you hit about 12 renown, you unlock a knowledge point book, which is insanely valuable. Also, the fact that these are account wide means that I only have to do it once for my entire account, and then every other character that I level up with that profession will have access to it. So my main focal point is just going to be Council of Dornagal, just because of the fact that it gives me enchanting, it gives me tailoring, alchemy, and blacksmithing, all of which are tier 1 professions for me, right? I care about the other professions as well, don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick one of these factions or a couple of these professions, those would definitely be my focal points. All right, what else do I need to do on my main? I should probably check this thing over here a bit more, right? Odd globs of wax. Have we turned in all those? Okay, I think I may be getting myself distracted here. So I was going to work on my jewel crafting build, but instead I think what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to my leather worker or my tailor potentially. All right, let's do this. Let's hop over to the tailor because I want to show off a couple things there. Right, and so then this is my main War Within banker, and we can see our first mailbox here has 322,000 gold. All sorts of stuff that we're selling in here, right? We're selling profession equipment, we're selling blue gear, we're selling bags, we're selling all kinds, anything that makes gold essentially. We're even selling some of the War Within crafted PvP gear, and that's why I'm hopping onto my tailor, because I want to show you guys that as much as everyone has poo-pooed well, not everyone, but I feel like a lot of content creators have talked about the fact that they're skeptical that PvP profession gear will make them a bunch of gold in the War Within because of the fact that you need to use a reagent that comes from PvP. I can definitively say that is not the case. You can make a good amount of gold with the crafted PvP gear. And so we're going to hop onto my tailor and try and see if we can min-max that a little bit, right? Without even spending all that many knowledge points, to be honest. All right, so this is my tailor. Let's also do a quick check for what other weekly tasks we have that we need to complete. All right, I need to do the Dark Moon Fair on a handful of my characters. I've really only done it on 2 characters, and even that I only did it for one of the professions. So on the stream, we'll also be getting that out of the way. But let's see here. We have unique knowledge point items that we still need to get. I think those are like the tailoring books, right? What's this void lit knit? Oh, I haven't spent the cash on the leatherworking. So we're gonna look at tailoring a little bit. And I will share my builds because hopefully it helps you all out, or at least gives you guys some ideas. I would say do not blindly copy my build, just because of the fact that it's probably not going to work out super well. Simply because of the fact that, yeah, it depends on your economics, it depends on your playstyle, right? There are other things that I'm doing that I will use to optimize my builds further, and so it may not be as simple as it looks. Which is why I would say definitely do your own research into this, right? Figure out a build that works for you and for your playstyle, and that aligns with what you plan on doing in the game, right? I would definitely caution anyone against simply looking at any of the content creators, including myself, and saying, oh well, they're making a bunch of gold doing XYZ. I could probably copy their build and do the same. There's a good to fair chance that that's not how it's going to work out, right? Either because of the fact that they're doing something different than you are. They may have a cheaper ore supplier, or they may have, they may be farming their own mats or whatever it is. So I would definitely say that it is worth the time to figure out what is going to work for you the best. All right, so we're pulling another, I think it was 500,000 gold out of this mailbox, and then it'll refresh in a second, and we'll see how much we finally have left to go. I know I've been selling a bunch on my other realms as well, so this isn't all of the gold. Another 37,000. Let's see where that gets us. Okay, boys, we're about to hit 31 million gold. Not too bad, which means we've made overall we've profited about 900,000 so far in the War Within. But we're also not counting all the expenses that we paid to level up a bunch of professions. So I stand by my stream description, the video description, that we are in fact making millions, right? That wasn't hyperbole. Why is this being funny? Select all. Right, if we look at this period, total gold earned. Let's go back 1 month. How about that? Yeah, so we've sold about 5 million gold. I don't know why it's showing us a negative profit here. That does seem very strange and does not seem accurate. This looks a bit more accurate if we just come up to August 20th, which is I think when early access started. I honestly can't even remember, the days have blurred together. We've just been having so much fun in Kaz Algar. But yeah, so this looks a bit more accurate. I also got lucky flipping one of these recipes. I bought it off of someone in trade for 40,000 gold, thinking that I would use it for myself. And then I decided to just wing it on the auction house for kicks and giggles. And it sold for 170, it sold for 180, well, I had it listed for 180,000 gold. And after the auction house cuts and all that fun stuff, I ended up getting 171,000 gold for it. So can't really regret having winged that up on the auction house for the heck of it. And that's a whole other chapter of gold making, right? We'll touch on it a bit later in the stream, but simply cross-server arbitrage is insanely lucrative right now. I've been doing this because I want to get recipes for my crafting characters a lot cheaper. But you could literally just do this full time and without a single profession, without even spending that much gold, right? Without even that much working capital, you could get the cross-realm trading up and running and probably even make more gold than I am right now. I haven't been doing it simply because of the fact that I don't particularly enjoy making gold that way. I'm not big on flipping, but hey, you know, all of us are different. And if you're happy, you know, buying something at 1,000 gold and selling it on another server for 100,000 gold, it's unlikely to be that drastic, but I mean, it's entirely feasible for that to happen, right? You could do that, and I'll cover how to do that in a second as well, or later in the stream, not in a second. If you are watching live and you want me to focus on any of these points, drop them in chat, because I'm all over the place today, as we can tell. All right, what were we doing? We were trying to optimize our tailor. I say optimize, but my main goal here is basically just to get the PvP gear set up on this toon, right? This is my main tailor, or at least has been my main tailor until this expansion. And yeah, basically what we're focusing on is this character went hard into the profession equipment so that we can produce max quality rank 5 profession equipment for all of the different professions using, without using concentration. And that, as you can see, is especially lucrative, right? A good amount of the gold that I've been making has been coming from here, right? Without using up concentration. Now, because of the fact that we had enough skill, we also unlocked, of course, our cloth cooldown. And so we've been doing some of those cloth cooldowns. But essentially, this character is going to focus on producing the best quality gear possible. And then we're going to go into resourcefulness and just try and max out the resourcefulness so that we save as many materials as we can while crafting the gear. And as tempted as I am to, put points into the cloth cooldowns, right? Put threads into, put knowledge points into things like multi-craft so that our cloth cooldowns pay off better and stuff like that. As tempted as I am to do that, this character is never going to have as much multi-craft as one of my other characters that I'm focusing on doing things that benefit from multi-craft on. And so as a result, I'm going to just double down on exactly what this character's speciality is going to be, which is crafting gear, right? We went hard into hats. We went hard into robes because that's how we craft the profession equipment. Now we'll be a little bit more flexible, and we'll spread out our knowledge points a bit more, go a bit more generalized, so that we can start crafting the other pieces as well, right? And the goal here isn't to have this max skill. It's just to be able to craft as many different pieces of this crafted PvP gear as possible, right? We have the profession equipment, and that's going to continue in the background. We'll do some of the blue leveling gear and stuff like that and sell that when we can at whatever margins we make, right? Those are just icing on the cake. But the main competitive edge that we're going to have is I'm going to try and basically unlock every single crafted PvP gear for this character. And this toon is just going to focus on churning out crafted PvP gear, and that's it, right? I will have another character that I focus on doing things with the oh god, I'm trailing off again. On focusing on the cloth cooldowns and maxing out, you know, what we can get out of that from that. Okay, so we need to hit up the Darkmoon Fair, and we need to head over to Azkahet to buy the leatherworking book. Leatherworking I have not spent any time on, or barely any time on. I haven't figured out the optimizations for that, and so we will take a look at that in a few as well. Now, the first thing we want to do, like I said, is unlock all of these recipes. Now, the most logical thing to do, right, we would just come over to our server's auction house, right? The simplest thing to do, and the thing that I would say as many as 90% of people are going to do, is they'll come over to the auction house, right? Select tailoring recipes, pick the current expansion only, uncollected only, right? And now we see these prices, 18,000, 20,000, up to 50,000 gold for some of these bags that we need, for some of these pieces, right? Of course, we are not a part of that 90%. So instead, what I've been doing is coming over to Saddlebag Exchange and basically setting up a filter that looks for all War Within recipes, right? For all professions. And we'll hit search, and this will update everything. But we're actually not going to use their interface. If you want to do a low effort version of this, you can specify the profession that you want, and you can filter and do all that fun stuff. Instead, because of the fact that I am hopelessly addicted to Excel, what we'll do is we'll export it to Excel, and then in Excel, what I have done is I have created a little tracking sheet for myself. All right, and we'll update my little tracking sheet. And then I made myself a handy dandy little pivot table here that will tell me where I can get these recipes, not only the cheapest, but also which character I have on that realm, so that it's easier to figure out who I need to buy them on. But as an example, right, this cloth sash recipe that's 24,000 on our home realm, if we instead hop over to Alexstrasza or Terracar, we can get for 2,000 gold, right? And so that is great. It's amazing, right? It means we'll be able to pay off the recipe that much quicker. And yeah, we'll save that gold up front. I don't think I need to harp on as to why buying a recipe for cheaper is going to be better for you. I don't have any characters on Alexstrasza or Terracar, so let's go ahead and create one. But okay, Alexstrasza, right? We'll select it from here. We'll head over to our create character button. We'll pick a Volpera. I'm doing rogues just because I started off doing rogues, and so now it's easiest for me to figure out what character is just a banker alt because of the fact that they're a level 10 rogue. If you don't have any banker alts on any of these servers, what I would do is I would go ahead and create mages. I would still do Volpera because Volperas get an extra 8 bag slots, which is great for a banker alt, right? Especially if you're planning on selling things on that server's auction house. Having more bag space is always going to be a good thing. And presumably we may be able to find a use for the make camp ability. I haven't quite figured out one just yet, but I'm sure there's something that we can do somewhere where we can park those alts to make ourselves make something in our life a little bit easier. All right, we'll skip the cinematic. Right, we should ideally fix add-ons, but I'm not going to be spending much time on this character, and so I mainly want to snag that recipe nice and cheap if we can get it. Similarly, I'm not even going to bother sorting out their action bar. I have been looking for an add-on that'll allow me to bulk update action bars. So if you know of one, let me know. Let me know in the comments or chat. All right, what's a recipe? The cloth sash, and hopefully we can pick up a couple of these because I know one of my other characters I wanted this for the first craft bonus as well. And the auction house is still not flawless, right? It's still a little buggy. Although this may actually have just, someone else may have beaten us to the punch. Medallion at 5,000 gold. That's not too bad. But yeah, I think someone else did beat us to the punch on this one, which is annoying, but hey, what are you going to do? Right? This is, of course, showing us the minimum price. Let's see if we can't find, by just getting into this data ourselves here. Let's see if we can figure out what the second cheapest one is. Ooh, second cheapest is at 14,000 gold, which we do not want to spend idly. I'm trying to see here if the data has refreshed. But essentially, if you have a very specific recipe, I would come over to saddlebagexchange.com here, click on the shopping list, and you can put in the item that you're looking for and the maximum price you're willing to pay for it, and it will tell you right here what the cheapest servers to buy it on are. Yeah, so it looks like someone else did snipe that from under us, which is not great. But hey, that's just streamer luck, right? If I say that we're gonna do something on stream, then it's probably not gonna work out, because that's just how these things go. While I'm on here, I may as well fix their add-ons as well. Cross-realm bankers load, and yeah, we'll reload the interface real quick and then log out and hop over to another realm. Let's look at the next item that was cheapest. The cloth tunic on Azralon. Right. Now we gotta log off here. And that's selling for 10,000 gold. Not an amazing price, right? I wouldn't call it a deal as such, but let's look at what the numbers on the tunic here look like. Right. Oh, we've already learned the tunic? Oh yeah, okay, I've already learned the tunic, so we don't need to go into Azralon, it turns out. Shoulder guards are also going for about 10 grand. Let's see what the profits look like for that. Where are we? Down here, shoulder guards. And this one we actually cannot guarantee at rank 5, because we, even using rank 3 materials, we're 24 skills short. And so we can either bridge that gap by leveling up tailoring more, or by spending more knowledge points. And we only have 1 right now. Where are our shoulder pieces? Are they in this? Yeah, shoulder pieces, mantles. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I think probably my build for this character is going to be maxing out this tree, and then we'll sort of see where we go. We'll unlock this node. We'll pick one of these, right, that we care about the most, and then we'll gradually work our way around to eventually maxing out at least all 3 of these, right? Though at some point we will just move over to focusing on resourcefulness instead, because that will make us more gold. What's up, Legendarism? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's your day going? We just opened up like 2.5 million gold worth of sold auctions, so we're feeling good. We're feeling good. So far, the gold making's been pretty decent. I've spent way too much time focusing on enchanting, if I'm being honest. I was also showing how I was also showing how to, dude. So watch this, right? The absolute best way to make gold right now, if you don't want to do anything super intense, is literally come over to saddlebagexchange.com. I am giving away my secrets. I don't really care. But yeah, come over to Saddlebag Exchange, right? And if you come over to, not even the best deals, where's my custom search? I put together a little custom search that actually will help you find basically which server has the cheapest of any recipe. And you can easily just create an allied race on that server, transfer gold through the war bank to them, right? Pick up the recipe, transfer it back to your home server, and sell it for big profit. I was just showing earlier that I bought a recipe for 40,000 gold, which I thought I'd overpaid for, right? But I bought it because I was planning on using it for myself, and I thought that I would make some gold by learning the recipe. And then I didn't. Then I was getting too late, and so I decided to log off. And I was like, oh, the same recipe selling for 180,000 gold on my server right now. I doubt anyone pays me that much for it, but I'm logging off anyway. If it sells for 180,000 gold, I would be happy. And so I listed it, and sure enough, I came back in the morning and it had sold for 180,000 gold. And that's probably more profit than I would have been. Like 140,000 gold profit is probably more than I would have made by learning the recipe. Certainly required much less investment. Saddlebag exchange. Here, I'll even link you the custom search that I set up for these recipes. So you'll just hit the search button, and this is all War Within recipes across all of the servers. Oh, I don't know why it's throwing an error message at me right now. Yeah, I mean, I went hardcore on this, and I literally put together an entire Excel spreadsheet that'll calculate all this for me, because I'm just buying recipes in bulk at this stage, just because I have so many different characters that I'm trying to get professions sorted out on. But yeah, you definitely don't need to be doing as much. You don't need to be putting in as much. You don't need to be try-harding as much as I am on this to make a bunch of gold. Why did our music stop? There we go. But yeah, so basically what you want to do is you want to use this search. You will then want to look at whichever of these recipes are the cheapest. It gives you the discount percentage, right? Some of these recipes aren't, you may have to go a couple pages in, because something like Illusory Adornment Crystal, these are selling for 2 or 3 gold everywhere. So the servers that you can buy them for 4 silver at and sell them, at whatever, 300 gold is probably, that's not gonna be how you're gonna make the most of your gold, right? But some of these recipes, like this one, for instance, the Patient Alchemist Mixing Rod. I was gonna say this one's selling for 3,000 gold, but I think I just paid too much for it, because it looks like it's saying the region average is about 362 now. So the price of these may have also dropped. But yeah, PvP recipes are a great call, right? Things that are hard to come by. The Cinder Bee recipe, this could be money. This could be cash money right here. The Cinder Nectar, right? It's selling on this realm for 12 gold, I think. Sorry, 100 gold. And the region average is 1,700 gold, right? So you really only need 100 liquid gold in cash in order to make yourself a 1,600 gold profit right there. And it's the start of an expansion, and the season hasn't started, so everyone and their mother is focusing on profession. So you're almost guaranteed to print gold with things like that. Because Lord knows I've spent way more than a recipe is worth, simply because I needed one more knowledge point to like hit a break point for something. And if I'm willing to do it, trust me, there's a bunch of other people out there who are thinking the exact same thing. All right. So tailoring, like I said, that's what we're primarily going to be waiting on, right? Is figuring out where we can get those recipes the cheapest for, and then we're going to start crafting more of this crafted PvP gear. Ideally, the pieces that we can guarantee at rank 5, right? Which will take us a little bit to get to, because I think we have to put 12 knowledge points into this until we unlock this tree, which should then start allowing us to craft it at rank 5. We need to do the Dark Moon Fair as well. Other than that, we've done all of our weekly sources of knowledge. I think let me double check my crafting orders, because I probably have a couple that I haven't gotten to on some of these characters, just because I haven't been super on top of my game the past couple days. I've just been focusing so much on enchanting. All right, so now let's look at a profession that we're going to be starting from the ground up. And this is what I was saying. This is what I'm more interested to share with you guys. It's not just how I'm making gold, but how I figure out what I want to do with my profession builds, right? Some of them, it's pretty simple, right? Most of the professions, I want at least one character that's crafting profession equipment. And that may be the build we go on the build that we go with on this character, or not. I haven't really spent too much time looking into leatherworking. There's a couple of different items that are of interest to me, right? Profession equipment is one. Armor kits is another one. Crafted PvP gear is always on that list. And what else does leatherworking have? I think leatherworking has a couple other things. Let's quickly jog my memory by hopping over here, right? Materials is another one, right? I think these armor kits could potentially be gold printers if you do them right. Thunderous drums. There's a lot of gold in drums, but it's such a competitive market that I would not recommend it for most people to go into, right? Beyond that, yeah, the crafted PvP gear, like I said, the fact that you can kind of double dip into leather and PvP, leather and mail is kind of interesting in and of itself, but I don't know that we'll focus on that to begin with, simply because of the fact that it's two different trees, right? There's the luxurious leathers and there's concrete chitin. So I'll probably have a second and third leather worker, one that focuses on leather crafted PvP gear and one that focuses on mail crafted PvP gear. And so that's probably what I'm going to do with that. But that leaves two other trees, right? There's the learned leatherworker which we're going to, I mean, this tree we're basically going to put points in from, you know, on whatever character whatever build we go with. The main tree of interest to me is this Flawless Fortes tree. And here there's a total of 5 different ways we can go with it. Now, 2 of these I think may be of less interest to us, the Arathi Armor and the Nerubian Noose. But the bestial items, the profession equipment, and the spotless stitching, right, for finishing reagents and for armor kits. So this is extremely interesting to me. And so let's take a look. Let's simulate a bit here, right? Let's say we're going to push leatherworking to 100 skill. And to begin with, let's see how feasible that is as well. We'll open up WoW professions here. And so basically everything I'm doing right now is what I would recommend you do with your professions to figure out how you want to spend your knowledge points, how you want to spend your artisan's acuity, all of that other fun stuff, right? And ideally you would do this for both professions in parallel because of the fact that artisan's acuity is per character, not per profession. And so if I'm spending a bunch of artisan's acuity on some stuff for leatherworking, that by definition means that I cannot spend any of that artisan's acuity on my tailor, right? Or at least for the first week or two. And so I will have to deprioritize tailoring if I decide to do something in leatherworking that requires a bunch of artisan's acuity. And it's just that simple. But okay, it looks like WoW Professions is saying we can get to about 70 skill points, which probably means without too much difficulty we can push to 75. The reason that skill level 75 is important is because that's when you unlock the ability to have all 4 talent trees unlocked, right? You get the first one at skill level 25, you unlock the second one at skill level 50, and you unlock the final, the third one at skill level 60. If your profession has a 4th profession spec, then you'll unlock that at skill level 75. Not 70 like I thought, by the way. So it looks like we don't need to be super picky in terms of which ones we unlock, but we're the stone's throw away from skill level 50, so we'll probably just go ahead and start doing our first craft bonuses for all of those. Let's try and push this as much as we can. We've got 48 Khazalgar knowledge points. We also have another 10 that we're going to get from the book. We have another 3 that we're going to get from the Dark Moon Fair. And what am I missing? We probably have some crafting orders that we can do that will give us some more knowledge points as well. And then lastly, we have our first craft bonuses as well, right? And because of the fact that we can now use our cross-realm recipe buying trick that I showed you guys, it's that much easier to also just buy yourself more knowledge points simply by hopping onto one of these other servers and picking up the item there. Leather gloves at 1500. All right, let's see. Do we have a character on Kirin Tor? We do. Anjin. All right, let's see if anyone sniped this from us. And ideally, you want to do this close to whenever the auction house data has refreshed, which I believe is roughly around the start of every hour. Anjin is on Kirin Tor, and we're going to see if we can buy this recipe for 1500 gold as opposed to how much, whatever stupid amount it's costing on Illidan. In any case, let's do our first craft bonuses. We need to see the items that we have that you know we're able to craft profitably is the first goal. And if we're not able to craft it profitably, then what's the cheapest that will give us skill ups and that we can actually try and do something with, right? With the gear crafting professions, there's a good chance that a bunch of the items that you're going to craft are going to be like this, where it's you're losing gold, grin and bear it. All right, just push through it, get it done, and then focus on how you optimize later on. During the gold making process, I mean, I have the luxury of not worrying too much about how much gold I'm spending because of the fact that I know I'll make it back later and I have a pretty large war chest. But you do want to be careful to not spend any more gold than you absolutely need to. And a good way to do that is to check if you have any patron orders for anything that has a first craft bonus for you, right? And so I would filter on learned and first craft bonus, and then just see if any of these we can, double dip, because we'll not only craft it for the crafting order, but we'll also get our first craft bonus out of it, right? Ideally, if you can do that at all, that's what you want to do. Okay, I think either way, let's buy the mats for all of our first craft bonuses, and then we'll see where we can optimize things. Hide Seeker's hat we're gonna already turn a profit on. I doubt that's actually gonna sell for that much, but we'll try it. And so this is me being a little bit lazy, right? This is me throwing gold at a problem. If you are strapped for gold, definitely try and min-max how you're spending your gold while leveling up the profession. For me, none of these numbers really are noticeable amounts to me. 2,000 gold, I'm not going to feel the pinch as much. So overall, spending 11,000 gold to push my leather worker to through their first craft bonuses, I'm willing to spend that much. If you are strapped for gold, then probably don't do that, right? Do the ones that are cheaper. Do the ones that you can either get someone to send you a crafting order for, or that you have a patron work order for, right? Because that is going to save you more gold up front. And hey, every gold saved is a gold earned, right? Or whatever the saying is. I haven't watched the movie. And we're using Craft Sim for all of this, by the way. I should probably have said that up front. The add-on with all these crazy numbers and all these crazy details is called Craft Sim, and I do not know what I would do without it. I shudder to think about what my life would be without Craft Sim. Because Lord knows, prior to having Craft Sim, I was not making much in the way of gold during Dragonflight. Carapace backed hide. Are we gonna craft one of those? Or have we already gotten the first craft bonus for it? We may have already gotten the first craft bonus for it, which may be why we need to buy one. Yeah, we've already done it. We've already done the first craft bonus for it. Ooh, 865 gold is never fun to pay. And even this, I could optimize further by like hopping onto my engineer real quick and crafting these whimsical wirings. But I wasted like most of the day on one of the days last week. Spending way too much time crafting engineering parts, and I'm already burnt out on crafting engineering parts. So from now on, I'm probably just going to buy my engineering parts off of the auction house and not spend too much time worrying about it. But again, if you're trying to min-max your gold, right, do that instead. Like I always say, do as I say, not as I do. Do not do what I do. I do a lot of things that end up costing me a lot of gold that I would not recommend anyone else do. All right, now, I think we're just gonna go through and do our first craft bonuses, right? And then we're prioritizing these based off of how much skill we have. Did I disable the specialization info? Yeah, so spec info. I mean, as we can see, the armor kits, right? There's a lot of different talent trees that are going to contribute to it, and it really is a matter of min-maxing this to get the most bang for your buck. Yeah. It just is. All right, I think most likely this character is probably going to go into a profession equipment build, just because I don't have a leather worker who can craft all of my profession gear for me. And Lord knows I'm going to have a bunch of alts that need, at the very least, green quality gear. And so if I can save myself that cost, as well as make back some gold by selling other people their green profession equipment, I will more than happily do that, right? That is a good deal in my book. It is also wacky to me how RNG and how randomized the patron crafting orders are. But yeah, basically we're just gonna go through here and craft each of these items once for the first craft bonus. I'm being a moron and I didn't even equip Masterwork Smock. Oh wait, I can make myself a... Shouldn't I be able to craft a leatherworking smock for myself? Have I already crafted one? Is that the thing? Or am I going to learn it later on? Profession equipment. Should be a smock somewhere in here. Did I already craft one? Did I disenchant it? What the hell happened to this? Because I clearly crafted one of these for the first craft bonus. I wonder if I sold it. I may have sold it off. That may be what happened. I might as well craft one for myself. But the question is, do I spend 1,300 gold now, up front, or wait until I can craft it at max rank anyway, because that's what I'm going to need. Or I just hit the auction house and buy it a max rank one. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. All right, never mind. We have to buy more profession equipment. It's cheap enough, I suppose. I don't know if we'll pay this off, but we'll like just by crafting things, but I mean, definitely craft one of these for yourself, right? I'm lazy, and so I'm just gonna buy it at max quality because I'm lazy, like I literally just said. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing that I should have been doing is going through the patron crafting orders that I have materials and have learned. So trackers, toughened handguards, apothecary's cap. Oh god, we're gonna have to reload the interface. This does glitch out at times, by the way, where it will tell you that the order is no longer available. And when that happens, right, you need to reload your interface to get them to show again. And I'm sorry, I know this is a lot of jumping around, but I just really want to show you guys exactly how you should be leveling up your trade skills, as well as how you should be thinking about, you know, getting profession set up on alts. And hopefully this kind of helps with that. Oh jeez, it's throwing the interface error at us again. Yeah, the crafting order system is a little scuffed, I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as Blizzard fixed the auction house yesterday, it looks like, which we're very happy about, by the way. It looks like they haven't fully worked out all of the kinks in the crafting order system. Hopefully tomorrow's maintenance sort of fixes that. Dang it, we're out of gloom chitin. So we gotta hit the auction house yet again. This is why I need a long boy, folks. This is exactly why I need a long boy, so I can just stand here and do everything right at the leatherworking table itself. But I have not been lucky enough to snag one off of the black market auction house just yet, and so we shall have to schlep our butt over to the auction house like a poor. What the hell happened here? Why don't I have enough gloom chitin to do this? Did we not add it to the... It's on here. It's on here. For whatever reason, Craftsman decided to not buy us any more gloom chitin. Or have us buy any more gloom chitin, I should say. Let's try doing this again, and let's see if it works this time around. Jeez. Dude, what? Didn't we just buy the mats? Oh, I probably forgot to check the mail, but I probably forgot to grab the items out of the mailbox. Yeah, there we go. I do that way too often. And it has led to me sometimes buying a whole bunch of rank 3 enchanting materials twice, which is expensive. It doesn't feel great. I will be the first to attest to the fact that would not recommend. Paying once for enchanting material, rank 3 enchanting materials is expensive enough without having to do it a second time. And realizing that you're not actually getting any benefit from it because of the fact that you can now just craft more of the items than you originally planned on. In any case, Trackers Toughened Shoulders. Do we have a crafting order for that? Suppose we should practice sash. No skill points there. Trackers Chitin Cuffs, no skill points there. Hide Shaper's Cover could make us some gold, or it could give us a skill up. It is green after all. That's good. Again, like I said, do not do what I'm doing. I'm not min-maxing anything just because I have more gold than sense at this stage. And I've spent all freaking weekend leveling up enchanting, so, or working on enchanting, and so gold numbers just don't make sense to me anymore. You should definitely be doing this a lot more optimally and a lot cheaper. But for me, I still have like at least 6 other characters that I want to get to. If not on today's stream, then later today. So basically before reset is the point, and we are not making good time as it currently stands. Okay, look at this, the rare item that we may actually make a turn profit on. Yeah, no, we didn't, because obviously RNG doesn't work that way. Now, my hope is for leatherworking, we should get a good amount of knowledge points because we're not only crafting gear for one type, like we're not only crafting one type of gear for the first time, we're crafting 2 types of gear, right? Mail and plate. And so, or mail and leather. So hopefully that means that we have more knowledge points available to us. It also means that we need to have an additional leatherworker to be optimal or to do everything that I want to be able to do. So you win some, you lose some, right? That's just kind of how it goes. All right, and we'll do the exact same thing. We'll just add the first crafts to the queue here. Thunderous Drums is going to cost us 2,000 gold. I mean, that's not terrible, to be fair. All right, let's do this. Basically, to fully optimize, right, our Thunderous Drums, we would need, if knowledge points weren't like limited in how many you could get, with full knowledge points, right? With every single knowledge point spent, you still can't turn a profit on these drums, right? And these don't even have a quality. It's literally just stacking as much resourcefulness as humanly possible to churn these out in bulk. And that's why, as intriguing of an idea as the drums are, because the sale volumes on these are ridiculous, right? So as much as my mouth salivates by seeing those sale numbers of 260 per day, it's still not really a market that I would recommend going into. I will spend this once, but if you are strapped for gold, do not do this it's not worth the first craft bonus, trust me. It just is not. Oh, and I also picked up this recipe on the cheap for 150 gold. Now, I don't think I'll be able to do anything with it, but hey, if we have a patron crafting order that pops up, you know, it'll be handy to have that recipe already learned. And we picked it for 120 gold. I can't complain too much. All right, just the same thing. We're gonna search the auction house for these items that we need to buy to level up our leatherworking, and then we will at some point actually get into the build part of things. And I think most likely this one may be a little bit, we may go with a boring profession equipment build on this just because of the fact that it is my first leatherworker. But if you want to see me go down another build or something more interesting, let me know in the chat and I will be happy to do that instead, and I can make another one of my characters the profession equipment crafter, because that's also not a terrible build. There's no bad choices as such right now. I think there's worse choices and there's better choices, but until the start of the season, all bets are kind of off because we don't really know what the markets are going to look like then and how that's going to change things around, right? All right, and our goal here is basically just to get as much skill as we can with as few, with as many of those overlapping with first craft bonuses as possible, right? Equip. I think we will do the thunderous drums first, because we're going to lose gold on it whatever we do, so we might as well just go ahead and do that first. Do I not have a multi-craft tool? Very strange. Very, very strange. That it's recommending I use a resourcefulness tool to craft drums instead. I would have thought multi-craft would be more valuable, but maybe I just can't craft these items as good quality with the multi-craft tool. I don't know. Oh, also you probably want to be spending your knowledge points as you're or unlocking the trees as you go, because you will get some benefit just by unlocking the first node. I mean, this one gives us concentration, which we're not using concentration, thankfully enough. This would have given us ingenuity. So let's go ahead and unlock these two, because I think whatever we do, it's going to be we're going to need these two trees. But by pushing to 60 skill, we've actually unlocked the ability to craft to unlock a third tree as well, which will give us optional reagents on some of these recipes, which will help us for our patron work orders, right? That's the other reason that you want to unlock those as soon as possible. Even if you're not planning on doing anything with gear crafting, ultimately you want to be able to craft as many of these patron orders as possible for the knowledge points and for the artisan's acuity, because both of those are going to be insanely valuable. And every now and then you'll get just gifted some free knowledge points, right? But because the patron or the NPC will have included the mats for you. And so this costs us absolutely nothing, right? We just hit the button, and in return we get resourcefulness procs, we get all kinds of things, all kinds of fun things. That's legendarism. You're saying you've leveled the professions and you haven't spent any knowledge. Honestly, that's a good move. Until this weekend on my main, that's exactly what I had done as well. I just hadn't spent any of the knowledge points, and I think the waiting and watching is a very good call. I was not as patient, and that may be to my detriment. But you can certainly probably make a good bit of gold just by wait. Like, it's probably worth it to wait, especially if you don't have a bunch of alts, right? For me, I also have like 35 alts at level 70. And so I'm a little concerned that if I like brick any of my professions on any of my like main crafters that I care about, I'm going to be upset, but it's not going to be like a showstopper for me, right? If I only had a couple of alts, I would definitely wait to see how markets shake out before deciding what to do on any of these. All right, and again, I'm doing all of the what do you call it? Patron orders I can because I have more gold than sense. Do not do that. Do not do that, folks. The way you want to level up these professions is by Jungle Fury leggings. The hell? Yeah, do not do that. Check if they're worth it. Check if it really depends on how much you value knowledge points, how much you value artisan's acuity and stuff like that. Dude, you have 200 knowledge points for leatherworking? Or for which profession? Or are you saying across all of the different professions? 200 alts at level 70? Bro, did you do anything other than remix? That is wild. 200 alts. That is definitely the highest I've heard of. I've heard of like I know like Zanzerful and a couple of other people have like over 100. 200 is wild, bro. Have you stuck tailoring on them? Because I mean that's the easiest, cheapest way to have them start minting gold for you. Is literally just stick tailoring on them, get them to 25 skill, unlock your cloth cooldowns, GG. And it won't cost you more than like 10. Heck, you could probably get to that point of tailoring just from the items that you'll get from doing the one-time quest, the crafting order NPC. Dude, if I had 200 alts, that's what I'd be doing. Are they all in the same account? Or can you like play them in parallel? Like, do you multi-box at all? Or are they all on one account? If they're all on one account, good God. Because that then means that you did the runs. Okay, perfect. Yeah, 3 accounts makes sense. Yeah, so dude, I would throw tailoring on them right away. Right. You can only have 56 on one account. I don't know if any of my accounts are close to that limit. Oh, okay, fair enough. That dude, 150 is still wild. You're definitely at the point where like even if you only had to check each of those characters once every 3 days to use up concentration and do the, let's say, the tailoring cooldowns, that's still 50 characters that you have to do every single day. Do you play North American? I think I added you. Yeah, you do play North America, right? You could do the skinning. I haven't checked the skinning. I haven't looked much at skinning or like the gathering professions, to be honest. I don't know what the farms are there. But your easiest bet would just be doing tailoring on all of them, man. Because on Friday's stream, we got tailoring set up, and it didn't take more than, like, if you were doing it efficiently, especially if you're doing it on 3 characters at once, right? You're going to have to use steady flying so that you can put everyone on follow. And yeah, literally all you need to do is log onto the character, pull some cloth out of your war bank, or if you have a guild bank set up. I mean, honestly, with 3 accounts, I would set up a guild bank so that you can access it on all 3 accounts at the same time. Because that's the issue I have with the war bank is that the issue I have with the war bank is that I can only have it open on 1 account at a time, whereas the guild bank is a lot easier in that you can just access it from all of your characters at the same time. It's not as limited. But I would just set up a guild bank, throw a bunch of tailoring mats in there, and then literally spend 15 minutes per character in Dornogal, like using the Orgrimmar port to Dornogal or the Stormwind port to Dornogal. That whole process shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes. You can easily get a character to Dornogal, get them, hit the crafting order NPC, pick up the one-time quest for your 350 free artisan's acuity, as well as for, that'll give you some tailoring mats. And then it'll take you maybe 5 minutes to get to 25 tailoring skill and unlock the cooldown. At which point you can start churning out that cooldown cloth. Now, of course, you can min-max it further if you so choose, but you really don't need to. Heck, you can even hit the, you can even use up your Artisan's Queue to buy yourself more knowledge points so that you can put a few more points into like multi-craft or something like that to really make a lot more gold off those characters. Or to just buy yourself more time, because I think the last tailoring tree gives you more of an ability to do that, right? Oh, we logged on this tune to buy something, and then I completely forgot about it. What are the odds that it's still on the auction house and no one else has bought it yet? Yeah, no, someone else. Of course someone else bought it. 1,500 gold for a PvP recipe is wild. You need someone else to craft the lure? Well, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly the little cheat thing is, but I'm guessing you still have to like go out into the world or like do something, right? There must be like a mob you have to kill or like somewhere you need to fly or something like that. With the tailoring thing, you just stay in Dornagol. There's no RNG or anything like that. The cheat is that you don't need to put points in skinning. You just need to have someone else craft the lure. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that works, I suppose. And I guess it's less headache to set it up. The only thing is that, like, at a certain point, right, like, the prices for that reagent are going to drop, most likely, if there's a bunch of people doing that farm. Whereas with the tailoring cloth cooldowns, from what I've seen, even without any skill points spent, you can make a decent bit of gold off of that. And you won't be in a situation where you have 0 points spent. Yeah, that's wild. That's why. That also seems like they would like that. That also kind of seems like the kind of thing that Blizzard would patch pretty quick. Although I say pretty quick, who knows? Who knows at this stage, right? All right, we're gonna take a quick little 5-minute break, and then I will be right back. I need to update the timer though to not show 15 minutes. All right, I think that should do it. All right, gang, see you guys in a few. Just doing a quick enchant repost, right? Cancel scan. Wing them up on the auction house. We made another 120,000 gold while we've been streaming so far. But yeah, I mean, enchants do require a decent bit of babysitting, to be fair. So I'd say if you're not a fan of auction babysitting, probably not the crafting profession for you. In general, like I said, I wouldn't really recommend anyone go the enchanting route unless you're really planning on putting in a lot of time, effort, gold, energy to figure out exactly how to get your build right and all of that fun stuff, right? All right. So we've done all of our first craft bonuses that were easy. Let's see if there's any other recipes that we can pick up on the cheap. Uncollected only. Yep, let's do that. Doesn't look like it. All right. So now we are in a fairly simple position where basically we just need to see what's going to give us the most skill. Then we can go do our Dark Moon quests. Has skill up. Yep, let's do that. And let's just see which of these are the cheapest. 669, 669. I think all these cost the same amount of mats, right? 776. Yeah, let's just do the hats, I guess. 606 we lose, 263. So it looks like the breeches we lose less gold crafting the breeches than we do anything else. And hey, if we craft them, do we spend more gold to craft these at a higher level and try and sell the rank 4s? Or do we not bother and just... Let's check. Spelunkers practice breeches. So we're at skill level 61, according to the guide here. We do one of the practiced hat. I was saying the hat, but we'll do breeches instead. That seems to be more profitable. Gotta double check our craft sim settings there. Okay, so we're doing these Spelunkers practice breeches until what level? We gotta do 11. Probably 12 of them, right? Let's budget for 12 of them. Is that the cheapest? Is using all rank 1 mats? Or is Storm Charge leather? Yeah, okay. So it's cheapest to just use all rank 1 mats. I'll do 12 of them. 8,000 gold. We're losing 3,500 gold on that because we're probably gonna just end up disenchanting most of this gear anyway. Again, do not do this way. Do it in a way that you're actually turning some sort of profit. I'm just throwing gold at this problem. Because I want to get to the Dark Moon Fair and I want to get through. I have a bunch of other characters that I need to take through all their weekly stuff. Plus, I need to do world quests because we want to push our Council of Dornagol rep as much as we can. Oh, and I need to take my enchanters through the Awakening the Machine thing as well. Oh, we should probably use up these knowledge point items as well, right? I guess we only have 1 from the crafting orders. Did we buy everything? No, let's buy more Gloom Chitin as well so that we can just blindly craft a bunch of these frickin' crafting orders. And again, I'm doing things in a very gold inefficient way. All right. So let's do our crafting orders first, because if there's any chance of those giving us a skill up, then at least we've got that out of the way. Plus, I think if you do more of the crafting orders, I think if there's less at the time of reset, you probably get more back. I don't have any data to back this up, so I am kind of just pulling it out of my butt, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way that that works. And yeah, I'm gonna use up a little bit of concentration. Again, do not do this. You're probably gonna make more gold by not doing this, by saving up your concentration and using it for something else. I'm lazy, and so I'm okay making a little bit less gold in order to just be done with these stupid things. We need a rank 3 carapace. And what do we need for this? We'll just use up some concentration. I cannot be arsed to min-max this to the point that it's going to make any meaningful difference. So it's saying we have 7 patron work orders, although now it's showing 4. And I think the issue is that these come from the actual talent trees, right? Crystal fused hide we can do. We need to buy the carapace for that. And then this we would have to buy the recipe off the auction house, but this isn't going to be our gear crafter. Most likely. We'll probably set up another alt that does the crafted PvP gear instead. Ooh, carapace backed hide is 2,800 gold. Damn it! What was the reward for that crafting order? I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it. I would rather spend concentration instead, to be fair. We may just guarantee it at rank 2 and use concentration the rest of the way. Again, not an optimum use of concentration. Do not do this, folks. You will lose gold. But for 2, or doesn't it keep, nah, let's just we'll use crappy mats. I'm not too bothered. Not too bothered. The main goal for all of your characters, by the way, is to keep your concentration amount as low as possible at any given point. Unless you have a very good reason, like you know that you're going to be getting multi-craft knowledge points, and so you're saving up some of your knowledge points for that. The basic point is that they should just never be at your concentration on any of your characters should never be at 1,000, because that is leaving money on the table. Now, if you want to keep it at 950 because you know that you're going to craft something in 5 hours, I think probably if you're min-maxing to that degree, in any case, you don't need me to tell you this. But yeah, I mean, the point is that there's just so much gold to be made, and there's so many things to do. Oh, we have to guarantee it at rank 3. We may have to just say screw it on this one. Although, I mean, if we complete it, we'll get those 2 knowledge points. Plus, we will hopefully get another knowledge point item, like another patron order, when servers are back up. Carapace back tide. Can I craft those myself? I doubt it. Right? I seriously doubt that I can craft it myself. All right, let's go ahead and craft all these other items, and then see if we can kind of make this work. Do I have any craft buffs for leatherworking? Nope, just the concentrated ingenuity is the only potential buff that we could have. And I don't really care too much about that one. Oh, we need to disenchant on this chick. All right, let's do that as well while we're at it, shall we? I did set up a handy dandy little search string for Trade Skill Master to find disenchantables. And of course, RNG is not our friend. Realistically, we'll probably need to craft 5 more of these. Though we would be lucky if that was the case. Let's just buy up mats for another 10. Carapace backed hide. Can we craft these with any meaningful quality? No, the best we can do is rank 2 them anyway. Alright, screw it. Let's just buy this and pretend we didn't. Welcome to everyone who's watching live on YouTube, by the way. If you are watching live, drop a message in chat. Let me know how it's going. Are you making gold in the War Within? Are you looking for ways to make gold? If so, what professions do you guys want me to cover? I'm doing leatherworking just because I had some stuff to do on my leatherwork. I haven't spent much time on leatherworking at all. But I'm happy to... I mean, I have more than enough characters that I need to stick professions on. So if there's anything in... any professions in specific that you would like me to cover and give you my thoughts on how to make millions of gold with them, more than happy to do it. Every single profession has so many different ways to make gold with them right now that I wish I had enough time to do all of the profession things I had. As a result, I'm more than happy to give all of you all my ideas, give you all my secrets, because there's a good chance that by the time I get to it, one of you could have already beaten me to the punch and started making some decent gold with it. $2,600 gold for 2 knowledge points. Oh, we proc resourcefulness on the frickin' cheap item. Of course we didn't proc resourcefulness on the rank 3 frickin' map that we used. Gosh dang it, RNG. Alright, so I think we still need to craft all of our... we need to max out our skill, then we'll hit the Dark Moon Fair. Then we will hit Aj-Kahet to pick up that knowledge book. And then we will take a look at what we actually do for the build. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't think it would take quite this long. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you guys. If you are watching live, let me know in the chat. Is this kind of boring? Or is this actually helpful to anyone? Thank you, Legendarism. I'm happy to hear that it is. Yeah, fair enough. It definitely feels like everyone and their mother is working on professions. I think the real test will be how many people are still focused on gold making and focused on professions once the season begins. Because I'm guessing that there will be a whole bunch of drop off. And so even if a certain market appears too competitive to enter right now, I think there will still be a lot of opportunity once the season begins and most players are busy doing PvP or you know, like the rated stuff or raiding or whatever else as well. I think a lot of people will be spending their game time doing all that stuff, and so yeah, I think we should probably see a major drop in competition, or at least that's what I expect to see. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. I've only said see like 30 times in that sentence. All right, I think at this point we can start simulating things. Ideally, I should push all the way through to as high as we can get this skill without actually without using up the knowledge points that we get without using the free 3 skill that we get from the Dark Moon Fair. Let's see if we can just brute force our way into these last 2 skill points. RNG. Screw it. I'm just gonna buy mats for like 15 of these. Right, that's 10,000 gold. Whatever. We'll make it back. I have faith. It is requiring a disgusting amount of Stormcharged leather, though. Like these last 2 points, I just bought 432 Stormhide leather, and I mean, I think that's probably more than I need to get to the max rank of this. But I'm definitely throwing way too much gold on a lot of these characters. I think probably when I really get into my alt army stuff, I'm gonna need to be a bit more frugal. Just because the more I spend up front, right, the longer I'm going to have to do professions on most of these characters to pay it off. A character like this I'm not too worried about because this is my main leatherworker, so I will be spending a good amount of time on this character. And so I do have faith that I will pay it off. It's just for concentration-focused alts. The name of the game is spending as little upfront as possible. Dude, I've crafted like 7 of them without a skill point. There, we got one. Hopefully the second one comes quicker. Yeah, I've crafted like... Dude. Yo, you gotta be kidding me. I just crafted 15 of these. I spent 10,000 gold crafting 15 of these and we didn't even get... In 15 crafts, I couldn't get 2 skill points. That's goofy. What are we doing here, Blizzard? What are we doing here? At this point, I may as well just use the Dark Moon skill, and then we figure out our build and go from there. Because Lord knows, there's probably not another great way that we're going to get through this. Oh, I need to do this as well on this guy because there is a leatherworking recipe that drops. I don't know if it's BOP though. Alright, let's see if we can find the recipe. Taught by. There we go. No, this is BOE. Okay, so this we can just pick up off the auction house. So we don't need to, strictly speaking, we don't need to actually do it. Right? Is there anything else that is like a one-time thing that's BOP? Let's do this. Let's look at the database items recipes, right? Additional filters added in expansion The War Within. Binds when picked up, yes. Filter by source. Everything stew. Well, are there any that... Can I filter by quest? Oh, we gotta do a quest line to unlock this. Alright, the more you learn. Gems are forever. Did we do this on our main? Oh, I need to do this quest line on my main. Because that's a character with jewel crafting. Okay, well, we figured that out. What are the things that are on a weekly lockout? Is there any way to filter that? Okay. Here we go. Awaken mechanical cache, right? So we need to do this on our enchanters. The raid hasn't opened up yet. These we'll get gradually anyway, right? These aren't unlocked until season 1 anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Should probably add in a filter for available to players, right? Still a long list. Oh, because it removed the filter that we threw on here. Okay, so I guess awakening the machine is the only thing that we absolutely need to do. Everything else I think we can wait with. I do also want to do a couple of bountiful delves on my main. I know you're supposed to keep them until the season starts to like get more eye level, but supposedly you get rep tokens from them, which could be pretty lucrative because I am trying to max out Council of Dornival rep as quickly as possible, like I was saying earlier. So I don't think there's any magic in us actually doing the spreading the light quest. It also doesn't take much time or energy, and I think we should already have some of the... Well, apparently not on this character. I was going to say we should have some of the items that we need to be able to do that. I am intrigued to see how the catch-up system works, because Blizzard has said that there is going to be a catch-up system for knowledge points, and I don't see myself getting all of my alts set up with the professions I intend for them to have by tomorrow, right? Like, that's just not going to happen. Just because I'm nowhere near efficient enough at putting professions on alts. I mean, if I really wanted to, I probably could get it down to like taking like 15-20 minutes per character. Shit, I would have another energy drink and just pound get that done, pound it out, right? But I don't see myself realistically doing that. So with that at hand, let's see what we can do now with our leather worker. We have 77 knowledge points. We're gonna get 3 more. Should we do the Dark Moon stuff? All right, let's head over to the Dark Moon Fair and get that stuff over and done with. Let's pop down a portal to Thunder Bluff for our other account. I'm not gonna lie, having a pocket mage is low-key worth the token alone. The token a month is what I mean, to pay for a second sub. Okay, now DMF quest is this add-on here. Definitely pick that up. It'll make your life way, way easier because it'll tell you A, whether you've completed the quest or not, and B, if it's working as it should be, it'll also automatically pick up the items that you need from the vendor. All you have to do is open up the vendor window. Usually this chick is the right one. There we go. See, picked up all the mats that we need. We do need to come over to the general goods vendor to pick up our shiny bauble. Or if they don't have it, then I'm not sure who does have the shiny bauble. Oh, they have the shiny... Pfft. DMF Quest just decided to not pick him up, I guess. Shiny bauble. And again, min-maxing this, you'd ideally want to get all of your characters to... You'd want to get 5 characters to level 80 and then do the Darkmoon Fair stuff so that the experience you get from the quests is maximized. But I'm lazy. And I want to level characters, but it's not a primary focus for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, forgot I can't dragon ride on Darkmoon Isle. On the Darkmoon Island. Alright, we're going to do the profession quest. We're going to pick up the reputation buff. And then we're going to go do world quests and side quests in the Isle of Dorn. Unless you guys really want me to focus on professions. I'm getting a little bit cagey after spending as much time in Dorngold as I have in the past couple days. Why 80? Well, at level 80, you unlock an account-wide experience buff. Where is it? Yeah, the one Warband Mentor, right? Up to your 5th alt, you'll get 5% additional experience for each character that you get to 80. It only goes till 25%, but once you have 5 characters at level 80, you will get a 25% buff to every other character that you want to level up, which is great for things like first craft bonuses, things like the Darkmoon quest, right? As well as like the profession quests and other things you will be doing, just matter of course. There's a good chance, like most of my alts in Dragonflight that reach max level, I didn't really spend too much time actually leveling them. They mainly just gain passive experience by doing things like first crafts, as well as just their weekly like profession quests and things like that, right? And hey, if you decide to farm something like Kej or, Delves or whatever else, then all the better. You'll get bonus experience on all of those things. Ooh, we got more tailoring knowledge points. Should we spend them right away? 15 resourcefulness, which isn't really going to make a world of difference to anything. Leatherworking quest is with this dude, right? No, sorry. The shooting range fella. What's up? Welcome to the stream. I see we have a bunch more people joining us. How's it going? We are we're leveling up our leatherworker / tailor. To be fair, this character does also have tailoring. I'm just I've already maxed out my tailoring. Well, not maxed out, but I've done everything I intend to do with my tailor. In terms of, I've gotten this character as far as I plan on taking them for this week. More or less, right? We may do a couple more things in tailoring. I'm trying to see if I can snag them recipes nice and cheap. And to that end, let's quickly see if there's anything on doxing myself. Not a good call. This is why I shouldn't just randomly tab through Windows. Where is our... The hell did Saddlebag Exchange go? There we go. Okay, here. We have got to refresh this. And then refresh our spreadsheet real quick. If you're watching live and you do want me to drop this spreadsheet, I can try and make a version that everyone else can use. But basically what it does is it allows you to see which realm is the absolute cheapest to buy any of the profession recipes on. Did that download? And it's what I've been using to snap recipes up for super, super cheap. And I would recommend you do the same. Even if you're not planning on using the recipes, actually, it's a great way to make gold, is just by transferring these between realms. The spreadsheet's a bit of a mess, I'm not going to lie to you. But mainly because I didn't really build it for anyone else to use. But again, if you do want me to put together a version that more or less anyone can use, let me know in the comments or in chat, and I will be happy to do so. Ooh, the cheapest tailoring recipe is 14,000 gold. Yeah, I'm not spending that anytime soon. Storm Rider's agility, the cheapest is 75,000 gold. Ugh. Not a spreadsheet fan. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, not everyone likes playing this game with the spreadsheet. I do it just because I also plan my life, like most of my life, I plan in spreadsheets. So using a spreadsheet for World of Warcraft was the most normal thing in the world for me. But definitely my wife has walked in on me all tabbing between spreadsheets and WoW. And at first she thought I was doing it because I didn't want her to know that I was playing a video game. And so she was like, you know, you can play a video game if you want around me. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm using the spreadsheet for the video game. She was like, what? So yeah, I get that it's not everyone's cup of tea to use a spreadsheet to play a video game. Oh, strangely enough, it only gave us 2 skill. I thought the Wowhead post said that Darkmoon Fair would give us 3 skill points, but that doesn't seem to have been the case. All right, so I think at this point we can start now thinking about what we want to do with all these knowledge points that we've gathered up. Oh, never mind. We still need to hit Ashkahet and pick up that book for 10 more knowledge points. So let's hop over to Ashkahet real quick and get that over and done with. And then while we have the Dark Moon buff up, we really should go do some Dornogal world quests. I live Dornogal world quests, but I don't know if this is the character that I want to do them on. Legendarism. Have you tried have you been farming up renown at all? If you do it on subsequent characters, like if you've already done the quest on your main, I'm guessing you don't get any additional rep on your alts, right? Or am I mistaken there? Like, is there any reason to do those quests on alts? Or is the correct move for me to do all of the side quests on an alt so that in addition to the renown, they're also getting experience? Because that's what I was thinking of doing instead. But I suppose the Darkmoon Fair is up all week, so I could really do that later in the week if I wanted to. Like, there's nothing that encourages me to do it today prior to reset. Saving Private Spindle. What the hell is that? In High Hollows. Okay. Whatever that means. There was another meta quest. Yeah, this guy. Oh, I forgot to pick up the Spark quest. I think. Yeah, I need to remember to do that. Though I suppose it doesn't really matter. I don't plan on having any of these characters level 80 within this lockout. I mean, I may, if I unintentionally hit level 80 just because I end up questing a bit more than I planned, then we may end up doing that. But I don't really plan on doing any, like it's not part of the plan to do anything like that. The cash quests I've been doing on alts, and funnily enough, I've actually been getting more cash doing the quest on my alt than my main did. I'm guessing that's a trade-off because of the fact that you're not getting renown, and that's why they've set it up that way, which I'm not upset about, right? But my alt's definitely got a lot more cash than my main has. All right, let's buy the leatherworking book. Dude, guy decides to path out on me. All right. Now, we are in pretty good shape for leatherworking. Without having spent a single knowledge point, we're at 90 knowledge points, which is good, boys. That is enough to make a big difference in whatever build we go into. Because each of these, we can basically do 2 of these if we really wanted to. Now, at some point, it will make more sense for us to start putting points into this, like into multi-craft or one of these, or resourcefulness, depending on what kind of a build we go for. But high level welcome, by the way. I see we have a bunch more people joining us on Twitch. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Are you making a bunch of gold? Are you interested in making a bunch of gold? Because that's what we're doing on stream today. Or the main focus of today's stream is basically, on Friday, we went through all of the like one-time things that you need to do per character, right? We trained tailoring and enchanting. We did all of the knowledge point treasures. We did, oh, thank you so much for the follow, Nature Trust. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Do appreciate that. But basically on Friday's stream, we went through, we picked up all the knowledge points. We farmed up the cash that we needed to pick up these knowledge point books, right? We did all of that. We did our first craft bonuses. We did all of that. The thing is, we ran out of time because the stream went for like 5.5 hours. And so I didn't really spend too much time talking about how to pick an actual build, right? How to spend your knowledge points. And more so than just giving you a way to spend it and being like, look, everyone needs to go with this build, which I know a handful of content creators and a bunch of people have been putting up, right? I don't think that's the best way to go about it, because the fact that if everyone is doing a single build, the profit is going to disappear. Instead, I think it's more useful to show you guys how I've been approaching the process of figuring out, what do you call it? How I want to spend my knowledge points on each of these characters, right? I'm sitting on about 35 level 70s, which gives me about 70 profession slots. And for each of those characters, ideally, I need to figure out a build that works. Now, I could do something very simple, like just picking up tailoring on all of them, right? Slapping tailoring on them, doing the bare minimum, spending the artisan's acuity that you get out of the satchel, and that would produce a decent amount of gold, right? Each character will probably make. Let's take a look here. I haven't spent much too many points in the Dawn Until Dusk tree on my main tailor. This is my main tailor here, right? We've just unlocked the tree. And let's say, you may even have a little bit less skill than this, but it's not going to make too much of a difference, because it's not like I can guarantee these at rank 2. Heck, I can't even guarantee them at rank 2, let alone rank 3, right? But just with this character, right, every 10 cooldowns, which I think should take a couple of days to regen, I'm going to make 1,000 gold, right? And I can optimize this further by using a multi-craft tool, right, by investing more points. And already, if you're doing nothing but logging onto the character, porting them to Dornagal, and picking up the knowledge point book off the vendor, you'll already have more points than me spent in this tree, right? And I would basically unlock this tree. I would go 15 points into here, right, which is super trivial to get 15 points. You'll get those just leveling probably to skill level 25 to unlock the talent trees to begin with. I'd go 25 points in here and unlock this tree, which will allow you to have your cooldown will come down, and then basically max out this tree, work your way around the rest of this, and then finally come over here, right, and max out this tree so that you unlock the second tailoring cooldown and go down this way. You can also, alternatively, if you really wanted to, you could also go into I realize I can unlock this. You can also go into multi-craft, right? Less is more. Unlock this tree and just start spending your points here. I picked resourcefulness because this character is primarily focused on crafting gear, and so having things like spell thread or weaving and unraveling or any of these isn't really going to make too much of a difference. Resourcefulness is going to be the name of the game for me. But I'm mainly focused on gear crafting on this toon, which is why the build looks like it does. But yeah, I mean, that'll get you an easy 1,500 to 2,000 gold a craft, right? You can optimize this further, you know, maybe throw some of these items in here and yeah, download CraftSim, play around with it, and you'll be able to get at least a couple tens of thousands of gold from each of your alts. The point is that I don't want to do that. I ideally want to diversify as much as possible. A, because the main thing I enjoy doing in this game is crafting, and so I really enjoy figuring out what build I want to go with. And so that's the point of today's stream, is just sort of going through it. Now, we are kind of at that stage for leatherworking, right? There's not really much else we can do in terms of getting more skill, right? Technically we could craft more of these, right? These spelunkers, this blue crafted gear, it is giving us skill, or we have a low chance of gaining skill, but trust me when I say it's extremely low. Earlier on the stream, we crafted 15 of these and we got we got one skill out of them. So I got my fingers burnt and I don't plan on doing any more of this. That said, we can now start looking into where we want to spend our knowledge points, right? And I was saying it earlier, but I'll say it again. There's a couple of different paths that we can go down, right? Either we can, I mean, if you want to go gear crafting, it's fairly straightforward, right? You put your 30 points in here, or ideally you would put enough into this in order to unlock the subspecialization, right? Put enough points into the subspecialization to unlock the item that you want to craft. And then I would start off by maxing this tree and then work your way backwards, right? That's probably going to be the best way to be able to craft those at max quality as quickly as possible. For me, however, I haven't fully decided on that. I am most likely, on this character at least, going to put something on this toon that is a little bit more high effort. The reason I'm doing that is because this is one of my main characters, right? This is my main alt is what I call him. And so I will be playing this character quite a bit, and so I'm willing to put in a bit more time, energy, and love into doing something that takes a bit more effort, right? The gear crafting, the PvP gear crafting, if I was to do that, I will most likely do on an alt. Mainly because of the fact that I don't really need to specialize too much, right? If I get 90 knowledge points, which I should be able to do pretty easily, we haven't done anything too sweaty on this character, right? I can max out these 3 trees and probably guarantee rank 5s on the PvP crafted gear. Let's take a look, actually. Let's simulate that, shall we? Why is... Oh, the PvP gear is not showing up because it doesn't give us skill ups. But it will give us knowledge points, first craft bonuses. So these are still recipes that we want to pick up at some point. Now, what are the actual trees called? Oh, swap windows for no reason whatsoever. Oh, I think it's because I have my chat technically open here. Yeah, I could do... sorry, Legendarism. I'm just catching up with the chat. Yeah, I suppose I could do the 6 world quests for the Spark, but like I said, I'm not planning on leveling any of my characters up to 80 this week anyway, so I'm fine for them to just catch up on Sparks later. Now, the Sparks could be useful for me to give to get my characters as first craft bonuses on some of these recipes that they've unlocked along the way. So the Sparks are mainly useful from a gold making perspective for that, in that I can send crafting orders to a character that I want to get the first craft bonus on. But even then, I think awakening the machine is probably quicker, no, than doing 6 world quests. I suppose there probably is a route that may make that a little bit speedier. In any case, coming back to leatherworking. So, where are we? We were looking at one of the crafted PvP pieces. Let's go with the hecticer piece, right? The chess piece. And so we'll come into simulation mode here. And what are the trees that we need? We'll put 30 points in here, and then we will probably spend about 30 points into this tree, right? And with that, we can already craft these at max quality using rank 1 and rank 2 materials. 20,000 gold profit, right? You've already paid off the recipe with just 1 craft. And so this is probably what I do on an alt, right? This is what I'm going to do on one of my leatherworking alts, is just churn out crafted PvP gear. And if and when it's profitable, we'll craft some of this crafted blue leveling gear as well. Again, with where is it? Large chitin and let's say concrete chitin, right? These are the 2 talent trees. we're able to make juicy margins on this. But I don't want to do this on my main leatherworker, because instead I want to do something that I can sell on the region-wide auction house, which is a lofty goal, to say the least. But let's take a look here at sort of what that build may look like. Now, the reason I like recipes like this is that these recipes cost artisan's acuity, which means the majority of people are not going to have this, right? The majority of people are going to use their artisan's acuity on their tools, or maybe on their bags or whatever else as well. And that's actually a note for myself as well, is I need to get a bag for this tune at the very least, a profession bag, because the leatherworking bag gives us bonus. I think it's like 85 resourcefulness to everything. Let's open up our tailoring window real quick and see what the bonus is here. Hide Seeker's work bag. Is this the one? Yeah, 90 resourcefulness across the board. And it's super cheap other than the artisan's acuity, right? So I will probably, I need to have an alt that I slap tailoring on purely and go purely into a bag crafting build. And that tune is purely gonna focus on crafting these profession bags for all of my other alts, or at least the ones that I want. Let's quickly take a look, because I keep forgetting which ones I actually care about. The alchemy one, don't care about. The dark moon one could not care less about, right? Excavator's haversack, I think, is mining. Don't plan on doing a lot of mining or herbalism, so we can skip that one as well. Skinning, don't care about either. But let me make my notes here. Bags, we care about the leatherworker one for the plus resourcefulness. Ignition satchel. Ever-burning ignition grants an additional 20 ingenuity, resourcefulness, and multi-craft. This we could care about. The main issue is that this bag just costs a lot to make, right? Look at that, 14,000 gold, 14,500 gold. I don't think is worth the 20 resourcefulness and 20 multi-craft. Ideally, if you're going to craft one, you'd want to craft it sooner, just so that, you know, you can start paying it off. But by and large, I wouldn't really recommend it. Jewel crafting, this could be of interest, right? It increases the maximum yield of crushed gemstones. If you're going to be gem crushing, then it's worth it. And I may be doing that on my main, but again, it's going to be a very high effort build, and so not really certain that it's worth it. The enchanting one we want, because while resourcefulness, multi-craft, 20 of each is not much, right? It's the bag is still cheap enough to craft that it kind of makes sense to craft this. 3,000 gold I can easily pay off, even 20 resourcefulness at a time, right? I am crafting enchants in large enough volumes that it makes sense for me to do something like that. Which reminds me, let's do a quick cancel scan. Another 64,000 gold worth of enchants sold, folks. The amount of babysitting that enchants require, though, is kind of goofy. Yeah, I'm definitely much more of a fan of just like post up a whole bunch of some item, right, and come back to gold in your mailbox and maybe a couple of expires. Not as big of a fan of cancel scanning and reposting and stuff like that, but I'm focusing on one character right now, not two, so I will do it, because if I can move this inventory, you know, like if I can turn it over, all the better for me. And if you are watching live, first of all, welcome to the stream. I see we have a couple of people on Twitch, a couple of people on YouTube. What's up? Drop a message in chat. Let me know how it's going. Have you made any gold in the War Within? How are you feeling about the professions? How are you feeling about the gold making? How are you feeling about the alt armies? Everything. How are you feeling now that the auction house is finally working again? Because Lord knows it wasn't for the longest. Which was not fun times. Not fun times. I can't say I particularly enjoyed that. In any case, so we need we want the enchanting bags as well. Prodigy's toolbox. Yeah, the rusted scrap, I mean, this one, honestly, I don't think it's worth 20k. If you're maining an engineer, go for it. Otherwise, I don't really think it's worth it. And this bag really only makes sense if you're planning on unraveling, right? But other than that, the only two ones that I would say are definitely worth grabbing are the leatherworking one, the leatherworking one, and the enchanting one. I didn't realize the enchanting one was actually this good. I mean, even then, it's not great, right? This isn't amazing. I mean, if we just look at my enchanter here, how much do we actually? How much of a difference does? Let's go with Algari resourcefulness, right? Because I can do that. I should get some more artisan's acuity in about 13 minutes when the crafting orders reset, and then hopefully I can craft my tool, my blue tool, which will give me more skill, right? And we'll be able to pay it off that way. But with that, I should be able to, yeah, guarantee these at rank 3. Resourcefulness is worth about 94 silver per point. Now, what that means is that if we're getting that bag that gives us 20 more resourcefulness, right, this bag right here, 20 more resourcefulness, that means each craft is basically 20 gold more profit. So once we craft 100 enchants, we finally paid the bag off. No, sorry. Once we've done like 150 enchants, we've paid the bag off, and then it starts making us a profit. 150 enchants is a lot. That's a lot. Because keep in mind, this is just a gold cost. There is also the artisan's acuity cost that is non-zero as well. So yeah, for this tune, probably not going to bother spending the artisan's acuity on him. For my main, potentially. But it'll really depend on what enchants we're focusing on, right? And how we're doing it and stuff like that. If we're able to find an enchant that resourcefulness is more valuable for, then we may bother doing it. Meanwhile, my Dark Moon buff is just ticking away. All right, let's head back to Dornigal. And let's pick a leatherworking build and go with it, right? All right, we're back in Dornigal. Let's throw up weekly knowledge real quick. And yeah, we've gotten all of our knowledge point sources for the week. We're done with this character, right? We just need to figure out where to spend our leatherworking points. All right, so let's come to the actual builds that we do want to do, right? The what do you call it? Profession tools is one option, right? Gear crafting is another one, but we're not doing either of those on this tune, which then leaves us with flawless fortes. Now, with flawless fortes, we've got 5 different choices, 5 different ways that we can go, right? There's the Arathi crafting items, and here the only auctionable item as such is the blessed weapon grip, which is not to say that it's useless, but I don't know how many optional reagents I'm really gonna sell. I mean, there's an argument to be made for this to be a concentration build, right? And let's say we have our 90 points. Probably the move that we would want to go here is we'd go probably flawless fortes. We'll put 30 points into, and we'll go into Arathi armor for 30 points, and then we'll probably want to do about 5 points into learned leatherworker, right? And then 25 points I would recommend going into multi-craft, because that is going to be the name of the game for this, right? You'll want to go there, and then you'll use concentration, and we will, this does give skill up, so we have what, 29 more knowledge points that we can get just from skilling up to profession all the way. And then let's say we pick up a profession tool as well. So let's say 39, right? 39. And we use the multi-craft tool instead. This isn't accounting for secondary stats here, and I need to redo this build because it doesn't save it between That changes. Command and concentration, industrious innovations, right? 25 or 26 realistically speaking. About 14% gold on this, 14% margin on this. So yeah, again, like I said, I would assume that the numbers are going to be similar for this as well, right? Not really enough that I think it's worth using up using up a character's full profession over, just to use concentration to craft those, right? Technically it's 26 because we'll get the first craft bonus from crafting this the first time as well. I mean, here the numbers are a little bit better, right? 436% margin is great. You're only using up 221, so this is about 10,000 gold every 4 days, right? Not bad, not terrible, not terrible. It's not great. I think what I'm going to be more tempted by is either going with an armor kit build, and for this we're going to go, it depends on whether we go defenders or if we go stormbound, right? With defenders, we'd probably want to go learn into flawless fortes. We'd want to max that out for just for the skill, right? And for Arathi armor, we'd also go into this. So I guess this would technically be the same build as the other one. So those are just a plus point, right? And what did we say? We said into industrious innovations, we go 26 points. And so if we don't use concentration, we still don't make a great margin on these. It may just be the meta is that people have both of their tools, and so that's where you start to see profits. Or it could be that we need to use some of these skill items in order to actually make our margins appear. Though it could also just be the case that this is an extremely competitive market, and I think that's probably what's going on here. Because we can guarantee them at rank 3, and if we use all rank 1 materials... Oh, wait, sorry. I did the wrong thing. I gotta click this instead. Yeah, so about 3,000 gold. About 10,000 gold as well from this, but we're just using cheaper materials, right? And we don't need to use that. And this is then the concentration build version of this. Okay, so I think we figured out where we're going wrong here. Instead of Arathi armor, we'd probably want to go into spotless stitching. And this is our 90-point build, and this is probably where we start to see the numbers come together a bit. Right, and now we can churn these out at rank 3 without using concentration. And so now this 18% we can repeatedly get back. Ideally, we would have one leather worker with each of these specs, right? So that we can craft both the what's the difference between the stormbound and the defenders? I think the defenders is the tank one. Yeah, this gives you armor, and this gives you stamina. Yeah, so there's the tank version, right, which is selling about 11 units, 11.0 versus this one, which I expect to see a lot more sales for. Yeah, 234. Jesus Christ. All right, so this is clearly the one to go for, right? The Stormbound armor kit. And so again, we'll come back into simulation mode here, right? We will stick, we said 30 points in spotless stitching. Do we need to spend any knowledge points to unlock that to begin with? Where is spotless stitching? Spotless stitching, here we go. And okay, so I think this has a solid chance of being the build that we go with if we don't go profession equipment. Spotless stitching, flawless fortes, and beastly bulwarks. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, that didn't work. That did not work. So are we better off going to industrious innovations then? We need to find 5 points from somewhere though, because we got to go 5 points into learned leatherworker in order to unlock industrious innovations. But I think with this, the hell? Oh, it could just be everyone and their mothers doing this. Because also bear in mind, this is with 2 blue profession tools, which is going to take us a while to get to. I mean, I have the artisan's acuity on this character because I've been, like I said, this is a bit of a high effort character. Let me just double check that I don't have any outstanding crafting orders for this dude. And ideally, I should have done this. I should have spent less time on this tune and hopped over to my other characters to make sure that I wasn't letting any and patron crafting orders expire on them. But hey, there's only so much time in the day, and the most important thing is that we're having fun, because that is the best way to ensure your gold per hour is make sure that whatever you're doing is fun for you. All right, we're 3 minutes away from what should be the refresh for these, I suppose. Okay, so we were looking at armor kits. Oh, my camera's still off. We were looking at armor kits, right? The Stormbound armor kit, I was saying I like this because of the fact that it requires Renown to unlock, which is always promising. But one second, I want to see what the sale rate on these is like. Yeah, pretty crappy. Pretty crappy. I wonder if there's a better sale rate on the male stuff. Because I wasn't planning on going with a gear crafting spec on this tune. But I will need one at some point, and so it may not be a terrible choice to just go with this. Stormbound armor kit. All right, let's see if we can sim this some more. So we go into Learned Leatherworker. No, we don't go that deep. We go 5 points into Learned Leatherworker. Right. We max out Flawless Fortes. We max out Spotless Stitching. Wait, Legendarism. What was the item that you were saying that you get 20k from skinning for? Which map was that? Because I guess the choice we have here is which of these we go into, right? We got to go 10 points in to pick a specialization, and then the rest of the specializations come pretty early on. So this would be a bit more of a complicated build. But basically we have to go into Flawless Fortes. We have to go, what, 10 points did we say? Unlock a sub-specialization of your choice. At 10 points, we can go into Spotless Stitching and max that out. So we need to put at least 10 points into this, right? Where is it? Flawless Fortes, 10 points, let's say. Right, and then we go into Spotless Stitching, we max that out. That gives us a whole bunch of multi-craft. Then we go 5 points into Learned Leatherworker. So that we can put 30 points into multi-craft from here. Right, and that's actually already enough for us to be able to guarantee it at this point. The question is, do we then spend more points into Beastly Bulwarks, or do we go more resourcefulness? I think we're still at the point that multi-craft is the most profitable stat for us. I suppose I should also sim how much more multi-craft we'll get from upgrading these items, right? But this may just not be a puzzle that has a simple solution. So we've already overshot our knowledge point budget at this point, right? And then we can eke out a 10% margin for ourselves. And now my guess is that if we use some better margins, some skill items, we may be able to eke out slightly better margins for ourselves, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. Doesn't look like it. Never mind. Oh, okay, yeah. So it looks like this could be a bit of a brutal market. Because also the armor kits are not selling for all that much, right? They're selling for 2,800 gold, which means that there's not a whole lot of room for margin. Whereas the Defender's armor kit, right, the tank one, is selling nice and expensive. And so here we have a bit more flexibility in that we really don't need to optimize all that much. Probably if we get 29 skill points, right? And then we go into, I think we'll want 5 points in here for Flawless Fortes. And we will want to put as many multi-craft points as we can get, because that's 2 gold a pop, right? And multi-craft is just getting more valuable. So we've got 25 points left over. Oh, we were supposed to put 5 points in here. And then we've got 10 points in here. And that leaves us with 30 points that we can put in here, which we'll want to do. And so where are we at now? We have 19 knowledge points right now. We may get a couple more with the crafting orders resetting. And we'll get 1 or 2 more from first craft bonuses. But let's say we have about 95, right? Let's pretend we have 95 to spend, right? Does it tell us how many knowledge points we've spent here? No, it doesn't. I do wish it did had a little total. But okay, 30 plus 30 plus 10 plus 5, 75 minus 95. So we have another 20 points. And the question is, do we put those 20 points? Well, we'd have to put another 5 in here to unlock the next talent tree. Do we put the remaining 5 into Arathi Armorer? Which at rank 15 will give us 15 ingenuity, but about 10 skill and 15 resourcefulness. Whereas this, if we put another 15 points in here, will give us resourcefulness and only about 15 skill. Now, unless I'm missing something and it makes more sense to go with resourcefulness or something like that, these numbers are still not looking great. But let's say we go 15 points in here. Now are we able to make something happen? No, it's still 3%, which is god-awful. God-awful. I could have sworn we had a build that worked a couple minutes ago. 39. All right, let's get the tool as well. 14%. Okay. And a profit of 2,000 gold. Now that is a number I'm more happy with. Right. This is something that I'm a bit more impressed by. And we spend the points like this. Right, 30, 15, 5, 30, 15, 15, and 15. 95 points. Yup. So this is one choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. And then our main focal point is just selling these armor kits, right? And we can craft them at max quality using, still rank 3 materials. Let's say tomorrow's reset happens, right? We get another 15 points. I don't think that's how many we're getting on a weekly basis. But okay, very soon we'll be at 33% margin or 4,000 gold per craft, which is pretty decent considering we can churn out a bunch of these, right? I don't think there's much demand for the rank 1s just yet, or for the rank 3s just yet. And it looks like for whatever reason, even using rank 1 materials and guaranteeing it at rank 2, we would still lose gold. So I'm not sure what I'm missing there. Because we're using the cheapest materials and we're guaranteeing it at rank 2. So who is crafting these at rank 2 profitably? Because you got to keep in mind, the thing with the War Within right, is it's not as crazy as Dragonflight, where you either make rank 3 or it's worth nothing, right? Rank 2 goods do have a value because no one's accidentally crafting rank 2s. With Dragonflight, because of the way inspiration worked, right? For every one rank 3 item, you would craft like 9 rank 2 items, which is why the prices on rank 2 items made no sense. Whereas in the War Within, if you have a rank 2 item, right, other than someone who's just leveling them up and maybe crafting 1 for like the first craft bonus, right, or maybe crafting a couple more for skill points, which may be what people are doing, right? They maybe just be, the market may be flooded right now and the price on these may go up, right, for the Stormbound armor kit. But that's, at that point, we're just trying to read tea leaves, and I don't particularly like doing that. But basically, there's no reason that anyone would be crafting it at rank 2 unprofitably. So there is a way that's, there's something that someone is doing somewhere in order to craft these rank 2s profitably. The only question is how they're doing it, right? Let's simulate here and see what the numbers look like. So even if we went right balls to the wall, as it were, and we go heavy, we get 2 of our profession tools, right? And we spent all of our knowledge points. I'm still not able to make the numbers work around the rank 2s. Because the sale rate on these are higher. I think the issue is probably what's gone wrong here is that this item uses a profane tinderbox, and profane tinderbox prices have spiked like anything. Right? These were selling for as little as 1,600 gold, and the price on these has just shot up to stupid amounts. And so that's something to keep in mind for this build. That until we figure out a better way of farming profane tinderboxes on a regular basis, it's probably not going to be worth it to do this. Which is not the conclusion that I wanted to get to. I guess we'll get another 90 resourcefulness from the bag, right? From getting ourselves the profession tool bag, or from the profession bag. Right, we can complete this crafting order for another 10 artisans acuity. Well and good. Okay, it's just artisans acuity on the patron orders. Yeah, I may not actually pick a build on this stream, to be honest. I may do it off stream where I can just sort of think about it a little bit, because I was hoping that the leatherworking armor kit builds would work out fairly easily, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And so that's not great, is how I'm going to phrase it. 1,500 gold for 10 artisans acuity. It may not be worth it. Artisan enchantress hat. Does that still give me a skill points though? Okay, so it's probably worth it to just do it for the skill points at this point. Hey Seek, what's up? Welcome to the stream, man. How's it going? Have you been lurking, or are you just joining us? Good stuff, good stuff. We pulled like 2.5 million gold out of the mailbox earlier on stream. So your boy spent the entire weekend focusing on enchanting, much to my detriment. Lord, I cannot speak today. But hey, I got 2 characters with fairly high effort enchanting builds skilled up. So and yeah, it has been paying off. I've made, I don't know if I can say that I've made quite 1 million gold yet. Not quite. But we're very, well, no, actually I have. If I open up my mailbox, we've made 1 million gold so far. And we made our first 1 million gold off the War Within. Ooh, okay. This is good. We can do this crafting order that'll give us 10 artisans acuity. This will give us another 10 artisans acuity. And now if we're lucky with tailoring, we can craft ourselves the blue enchanting rod. But of course we're not, because why would we be? Oh. Dang it. So we'll get another 20 artisans acuity, which will still leave us 20 artisans acuity short? No. Yeah. 20 artisans acuity short, right? Because each of these enchanting crafting orders is gonna give us 10 artisans acuity each. We need 40 to get our blue profession tool. And we don't have that. So either, well, I'm trying to say either. I mean, basically the only real choice I have then is I was supposed to do this ages ago. And I forgot. This will give us another 5. And so then we need 3 more first craft bonuses. If we wanna get our profession tool before tomorrow. Which honestly, there's no reason to do. It's just the like restlessness in me. Right? There's no real reason that getting it today will be any better than just waiting till tomorrow and getting it on the cheap. Because theoretically I could craft this and this will give me another 10 artisans acuity. How cheap can I do this? How much am I willing to spend on this? On this restlessness? Oh, my webcam's off. I could throw another 7,200 gold at this, and then we get another 10 artisans acuity from here, and then I just need one more first craft bonus, and we've got our blue profession tool. But if I wait till tomorrow, then there's a chance that I can instead, if I get enough artisans acuity, I can just get myself the epic enchanting rod to begin with. I don't know how much artisans acuity we're supposed to get on a weekly basis, but it seems like the daily lockouts are more the thing anyway when it comes to artisans acuity. It seems like that is where we are getting the bulk of our artisans acuity from in any case. Seek, what's up? How was your weekend? What'd you get up to? Are you just going crazy now, farming up a renown with the Dark Moon buff? I technically still have 11 minutes on my Dark Moon buff left. Which of these can we do? Just WoW. Yeah, same. Spent way too much time playing WoW, to be fair. 380s, jeez. Are you questing? Are you dungeoning? Are you delving? How are you leveling them? Like, what have you found as being the easiest? Keep questing. Yeah, fair enough. I need to quest as well. Just because of the fact that I need to get the I want to get the Isle of Dorn renown as high as possible. Have you done all of the side quests? I told myself I would wait until the Dark Moon Fair just because I was lazy to do them the other day. But now the Dark Moon Fair is upon us, and I still can't really be bothered to quest. Actually, you know what? We may take a break from all this profession stuff because I'm feeling a bit bummed out that the armor kits are kind of crap. I was hoping that we could find a good armor kit build, and do that. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna take a quick little break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, see you guys. We are back. We're in a standing desk configuration because I was supposed to make it to the gym today, but I didn't because I was busy playing WoW. Hopefully my wife doesn't hear that. I don't think she watches my stream anyway. Though to be fair, it was also because my allergies have been acting up, and that is 100% verifiable. Okay, I don't know what we're doing at this point. Specializations, leatherworking. Yeah, I was really hoping that that we would be able to make the armor kit build work some way somehow. But it does look like it is a pretty crowded market. I think the move is, if you're going to go the armor route build, right, the move is you go, let's test out some other sneaky little builds, right? We unlock this, we do learned leatherworker to 5, right? I think you need the multi-craft. You need all the multi-craft you can get. And we want crafting leatherworking patterns. No, this is concentration, which could be useful, but I think it's a dummy tree in a lot of ways. It's like a lure. It's set up to like lure people into it, right? But okay, so 30-30. Oh, I suppose we could also buy the knowledge point books. Right, that'll give us another 10 knowledge points. We could use up our artisan security for that. Though I don't think we have enough artisan security to buy 2 of the tools, 2 of the blue profession tools, plus the books. Or like any of the books, like the 200 artisans. Well, okay, we could if we use up 600 for the tool and one of these accessories, right? We decide which one we want to go for, whether it's resourcefulness or multi-craft, and then we spend 200 towards the knowledge point book. Then we have another 10 knowledge points that we can play around with. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm bummed out. We can make 12% on this by using one of those little items. I wonder if we... No, the little 5 skill item is probably the best that we're going to be able to do. Or we push through, we get enough artisan security, we get a 3rd tool as well, and then... that sounds sweaty. I'd rather spend that time on another character, and also we can probably do that tomorrow anyway. So we could just wait until tomorrow, and then we can go 15 points into here, which will allow us to unlock this, which will get us to about 12% margin on these. And we'll get, I think it's like 98 or something more multi-craft from this. So let's say another 120 multi-craft. 2781's not bad. It's not bad. I do wish there was a multi-craft enchant, though there isn't one. So 30, 30, 30, 15 because we've got the knowledge point book, and we have 2 blue profession tools. One of them with multi-craft on them. And I mean, we're laughing when it comes to concentration, right? Because then we make 44% margins, which is great. But without concentration, we're making about 20% on each of these, which is also still not terrible. My main concern here is that, well, let's take this out of here. My main concern is that we can't craft the rank 2s, and the bulk of the sales are happening on the rank 2s, right? The rank 2s are selling 35 a day. The rank 3s are only selling 11, and that kind of makes sense because they're more expensive. Oh, wait, what am I saying? We don't have enough artisan security to buy another book, and so we won't even unlock this because of the fact that we need to spend 150 artisan security on the recipe. What about me? Yeah, so I mainly spent the weekend. Oh, my webcam's still off. I mainly spent the weekend focused on enchanting, to be honest. Probably more time than I should have. But basically, on Friday's stream, we stuck tailoring and enchanting on those two characters, right? And so I don't know if I played any more WoW after the stream on Friday. What am I saying? Of course I did. I played till like 5 a.m. I've been playing until like 5 a.m. every night, man. It's not a good idea. It's not great. It's not. Don't feel great about that, but hey, it keeps happening. Every day. I'm like, today I'm gonna get to bed at a reasonable time, and I'm gonna wake up in the morning, and then do that instead. But because of the fact that I play on North American servers, like peak server time is around 4 or 5 a.m. And so if I'm up to like 3 a.m., then I just get sucked into like crafting orders and like how active the market is, and so then I just end up staying up until like 5:30, and then I end up sleeping in, which is not good. Would not recommend. Yeah, and so then I just wake up feeling like shit because I've spent all night up. Auto loot is a joke. Why? 50% fail rate. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I thought it was an add-on thing on my end, but to be fair, that's also because I use just a boatload of add-ons, right? So at any given point, I'm always hesitant as to whether it's a bug on Blizzard's end, or if it's one of my many hundreds of add-ons. Yeah, auto loot. Yeah, I know it is a built-in feature as well, but I use like 3 different loot add-ons because because I just use add-ons for everything. I like literally, if my add-ons are broken, I struggle to play this game. I mean, not literally. I can still do things. It's just at the very least I would need like a notebook to like remember where things are and stuff like that. Wait, what did I sell? What enchant did I sell for 32,000 gold? Okay, 2 of them. Well, that makes more sense. Now I understand what happened there. The problem is I mainly use this character for transmog, and so as a result, her mailbox is full of transmog. What's up? Welcome back, Legendarism. How's it going? But yeah, I mainly spent the entire weekend working on enchanting, which was probably kind of dumb of me. Yeah, I mean, I spent some time with family and with my wife and stuff like that as well. So it wasn't 100% focused on enchanting, but that was most of my time I spent on just optimizing enchanting. And I don't know that it was I don't know that was the best way to I made $1.5 million gold, or I made $1 million gold out of it, but I don't know that that was the most efficient use of my time. I could have probably definitely done a lot better if I'd spent that time on leveling other characters as opposed to wasting as much time on the individual enchanters that I did. All right, I mean, the other option we have is that we just go with what we originally planned, which is we go into we go heavy into profession equipment, right? And then we make gold from that. It's not sexy. It's not sexy, right? And none of these profession equipments are selling for that much gold anymore. At least on Illidan. Now, of course, it doesn't really matter what the price is on Illidan as long as it's selling for more on other servers, which I think it should be. Because with the cross-realm trading, like with the warbanks, it's so easy to cross-realm trade. It's ridiculous. And so I can probably still make a good amount of gold off of that. But again, this character is less focused on making gold and more on having fun, which may sound kind of dumb because it kind of is. Hey, 1,361% profit margin is not bad, folks. And I don't even have to go that hard. I can literally not even level up my profession anymore. And if we do flawless fortes, 30 points, epic ensembles, 30 points. We are laughing. We are laughing. Oh, I guess I have to go 5 points in here, and then we can do 30 points into resourcefulness. And then this is basically the best case scenario for, in terms of like the best profession, the best margins we can get on profession gear. But I have a feeling that honestly it wouldn't. I think the leatherworking ones probably don't have that much of a barrier to entry because the skill requirement is only 200, right? And I would assume if we go into Flawless Fortes and we push our knowledge points up, let's say we get to 100 skill somehow or some way, we can already guarantee it at rank 5. Where is it? Where's the one that's selling for 5,900? Yeah, this is the best case scenario, right? Everything else is going to make less gold than this. I wonder if we do have to go that hard into epic ensembles, or if we can sort of spread it out and do a bit of a hybrid build between Flawless Fortes and I mean, honestly, if I don't need to go into epic ensembles, then this may not be a terrible idea. I can easily stick this on I mean, my gear crafter can just be the person, the character who's doing the armor kits as well. Because I think in the armor kit build, we were maxing out Flawless Fortes anyway. And I suppose then there will be other options for things that we can sell, like, I mean, for instance, these crappy armor kits, right? Let's say we go here, we go 30 points into Flawless Fortes, and I think the other ones we're looking at were Industrious Innovations. We've got to put 5 points into Learned Leatherworker in order to unlock that tree. And so this is the 95 points that we were talking about. And we still don't make a profit. Jeez, even friggin' with what do you call it? With blue profession tools, we're still not actually making any serious amount of gold with this. Which leads me to believe that I'm doing something wrong, because at this point of the expansion, there is going to be a way that someone out there is making gold on this, right? Okay, 4%, that makes more sense. This is our 95 point build. And we'll have a couple more points from various sources that I suppose the only real path we have is to go into Learned Leatherworker if we're purely focusing on this. But 4% margin is not something your boy's going to be focused on. Ganking myself at the forge. Oh no, I haven't done that yet. Do I need to get smashed between the prongs of the forge? Is that what the achievement is for? Because I'm not gonna lie, on my blacksmith, every time I run through that, of course there's an achievement for that. Oh, I mean, I feel like I have to, right? I'm constantly talking about how I keep coming up with creative ways to die. If there's a death-related achievement, your boy has to get it. Because, yeah, if there's a creative way to die in this game, I have figured it out, trust me. I really want these armor kits to work. It's killing me that I can't figure out what the build is to get these freaking things to be profitable. I mean, okay, I guess if I'm okay with the 10% margin, then this isn't a bad build, right? 10% margin is not bad. And then, of course, a couple times a week, we also use up our concentration to get ourselves a 46% margin. The evaculator pulled you under the forge. Dude, that's hilarious. At this stage, WoW griefing is just funny to me. I'm always impressed by the creative ways people to come up with to grief at this point. He died. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I feel like he can't even be mad about that at that point, right? Do you think the fun police, Blizzard's fun police, comes for that? That they like don't allow you to cast that in like near the forge? I'm sure there's a way to eke out more gold from this. I think maybe what we're doing is we don't put any points in here. Okay. We hold off on the multi-craft, even though multi-craft is worth stupid amounts of gold, right? This is the build that we go with. We go with Spotless Stitching, Arathi Armor, and Flawless Fortes maxed out. And then we're able to craft these at a really high profit. And then, in the coming weeks, all of the points we get go straight into Industrious Innovations. Let's say for today, I might be able to get myself 5 points. But once we have Industrious Innovations maxed out, right, and then after this is when we start looking at resourcefulness. But I mean, resourcefulness is going to make actually a decent bit of difference, to be fair. It's 1.3 gold per point of resourcefulness, which is pretty good. The only question is if the Stormbound, if the Defender's Armors kits actually sell at a good rate, which they may. They may. The problem is for the Stormbound armor kit, it's a very different, well, yeah, it's a completely different talent tree, right? So Learned Leatherworker, we said we're only going to go 5 points into here. Flawless Fortes, we maxed out. And then we go into Beastly Bulwarks, I think is the move, right? And that doesn't really help us. Not Waste, not Commanding Concentration, no. Industrious Innovations is where we put another 5 points. Jeez. Yeah, so the market for these Stormbound armor kits is dog water. And I think with the Defender's Armors kit, it's just a case of prices are inflated right now. I do wonder if these will drop. But they may not. Does this one doesn't use, the reason is because this build doesn't, these armor kits don't use the Profane Tinderbox. And Profane Tinderbox prices are absolutely insane. I'm not sure why they spiked as high as they did, because I don't farm anything. Actually, Seek Legendarism. Do you know where you get the Profane Tinderboxes from? Because I know that's been like kind of a meme question that everyone's been asking. Like, where do you get Profane Tinderboxes from? I'll be honest, I haven't looked into it myself, so I have no idea. Treasures. But then why did the price drop off so hard on them? Or spike so high on them? Because they were super cheap. I mean, not super cheap, but they were like a couple thousand. They were like 1,000 gold, and then they spiked now to the point that they're like 8,000 gold a piece. Heck, the amount of time that I've spent here just tinkering around with craft sim, and this is what I did most of the weekend, by the way, just theory crafting, like profession bullshit. If I'd spent this time flying around looting treasures and all my alts, which I need to do anyway for the knowledge points, I would have probably made more gold off of the Profane Tinderboxes. It's rare. Yeah, I know, but I've looted a couple of them here and there. And because of the fact that they're that they're tradable, I think you can proc resourcefulness on them, right? I mean, I guess that's where the bulk of this profit point, increase per point of resourcefulness is coming from. Because basically in a crafting run that you're doing of these Defender's Armors kit, if you get to the point that you're like, if you get a resourcefulness proc on this, right, that's 8,700 gold right there. So sniping those materials. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the tryharders are sniping everything. I'm only sniping recipes, and that too I'm doing it very, very casually with that link that I shared with you. And I'm mainly doing it because I want the recipes for cheap, right? I'm not even doing it to flip them. So sharing the spreadsheet will be a little bit tough because I'm pulling data from a bunch of different places. I'm manually populating most of it. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that I can use, because Trade Skill Master does have, like, I do have another spreadsheet in which, where is it? Where's my other spreadsheet? I do have another spreadsheet in Google Sheets. Where is it? Yeah, this one. I mean, I do have this sheet that will automatically pull data as long as you put in your Trade Skill Master ID. The problem is that this seems to only pull data for a specific realm or for the whole region. The issue with the whole region data is that it doesn't include server-specific things, so this won't work for the recipes scanning thing. And the other parts of the spreadsheet don't really help you unless you have all the other things set up the way that I do, because it's mainly of more use to me. Like this is like 90% of the information you need you'll get just from exporting this as CSV and creating your own spreadsheet, which is why I'm not sure how to share it exactly. You know what I mean? All right, I think we're gonna take a break from this freaking bleak ass leatherworking nonsense. Because my thinking now is that I can do a hybrid build of going into learned leatherworker, or no, not learned leather. What the hell am I doing? Going into flawless fortes, right? And once we've gone into flawless fortes, 30 points, we'll have unlocked this, right? We can throw 30 points into spotless stitching. Why not? Right, and then we'll unlock Arathi armor, but we won't really do anything with it. And my thinking is that we then can we can see what happens to prices for the Defender's armor kit. But also we can get a feel for what happens with the armor kit prices. I gotta reload my interface. Now, the other thing that I wanted to check was, I've been using this website called Wow Thing. This one right here. This thing is freaking awesome. If you're not using it and you have an alt army, actually legendarism, this is great for you as well, especially if you're saying you have like 3 accounts with 56 characters on each or whatever. Wow Thing, check it out. Wowthing.org. Here, let me drop the link in chat. Oh, okay, you're already using it. Amazing. Yeah, I was absolutely flabbergasted by how awesome this thing is. In any case, I think my highest level character is my mage, and so I should probably push her. I should probably do all of the world quests and all of the rep stuff on her, and get her to 80 so that the other characters that I level also benefit from it. How are you guys finding the best way to level alts right now? Should I run dungeons until I'm like level 74 and the nerf bat starts hitting me and then start questing? Or should I just jump straight into questing and get through that? Like, how OP is a level 73 going to be in dungeons? Is it going to be quicker than questing? Yeah, that's a fair enough point. How are follower dungeons for leveling? Follower dungeons will be slower. Oh, is it just because they don't run, like they don't move as fast? And I guess they don't know the like. I feel like every time I join in like the dungeon finder or whatever, there's like some meta for like the fastest way to run through every single dungeon that I obviously have no idea of, right? Because everyone else is doing Mythic Plus and whatever, and so it's figured out exactly the correct way to run through each of these dungeons. The quest. Okay, I think I'm gonna be super lazy and actually turn in all these Dark Moon quests for just bonus experience right here. I have a bunch of these items lying in my mailbox. or in my guild bank. At least these ones that I have handy, I'm gonna turn in for experience. Do I have any more? Why is it not searching for this properly? I wonder if I do a search everywhere, will that work? That didn't work. I think the guild bank search is just weak sauce. Did I grab one of these? I did not. Actually, I think my Demon Hunter technically has one of every single one because I put them on him to farm up Dark Moon tickets, and then I never bothered actually doing the quests on him. Dude, 65,000 bonus experience isn't bad though, right? For the first dungeon? That's what, like a quarter of a level? I mean, DPS queuing will probably take ages, but it's probably still not a terrible idea, right? Oh, there is a bunch of other weekly stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. I think as long as I've done like the main like rep events, I'm kind of fine. What else did I want to do on my main? I know I need to do Awakening the Machine on this chick. I think we've done the weekly quest. What else do I need to do for let's download Tama's. Spark. Yeah, but like I was saying, I don't really care too much about the spark, and there's still the catch-up mechanism, right? So like if I don't do it this week on these characters, they'll still be able to loot it from whatever next week, right? Or is it much harder? Oh jeez, Tama, what are you doing to me here? All right, we clearly have to go into the custom options and disable a bunch of these things. Mythic plus keys, no, we don't care. Raid boss, nah, we're not doing any raid bosses. There's also nothing available right now. Outdoor solo. I can just hide the info panel. I don't think there's anything. For sparks, isn't there usually? And the vault is only coming with season 1, right? Is it just not enabled yet? Is that the thing? The heck are all of these? Why are there so many things on here? Oh, is it showing me the main campaign quest? Visions of Azeroth. Suppose the only way to check is to actually go into our little quest log here and go into War Within. Ashkahet, Isle of Dorn, Breaking Point, Earthen Fissures, The First Blow. Okay, I think it's showing me all the campaign ones. I only care about the rep quests. And even then, I don't really care about the Ashkahet ones. Council of Dornogal is the main one that I care about, and then second tier priority is probably going to be mining, engineering, and inscription. Oh, so not even Assembly of the Deeps. Then it'll be the Halafal Arathi, I guess, right? Oh, but I have to get to 14? Dude, I don't want to do that. 14 sounds miserable. Jewel crafting, herbalism, skinning, and leatherworking. All right, let's focus on Isla Dorn for this week. How about that? I cannot worry about so many different renowns. Oh, it's a long. It'll be expansion's gonna be like a year and a half, right? At least. I mean, they've said that they want less time until midnight or whatever. Two years. Are they planning on doing 2 years? I thought their whole thing was that with the World Soul Saga, they're trying to get them, they're trying to get the expansions out quicker. Till 230, or till 2030. Oh, okay. So maybe I misread it, and they were just saying that they're planning on having like quicker turnaround times for content, and like there'll be less time between content patches, which would also make sense. I mean, I feel like they did a decent enough job between like in Dragonflight of that. There wasn't like unless I'm misremembering something, right? I don't think there was any like major period of time that didn't have like that there was nothing to do in the game, which has always been the case in previous expansions. But that's also because of the fact that they did Remix and they did Plunderstorm and they like Season of I spent some time playing Season of Discovery and what do you call it? Hardcore and like all those other versions that came out as well. Like I suppose there was also that made it feel less painful. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, I suppose what we should do at this point is I think we've done the weekly quest on this chick already, but I need to see if I can get that breastplate enchant from the Assembly of the Deeps from Awakening the Machine. So let's go do that. Is there a chance that I die during like doing the waves? I already did all 20 waves on my main. I did all 20 waves on my main. So I did all 20 waves in one shot on my main. And so there's not really too much of a point to do it on another alt. I suppose I should go pick up the Dark Moon buff and then do as many of these world quests in Isle of Dornogal as possible, and then also try and get through as many of the side quests. Does Zygor have a guide for rep yet? Although I guess this thing here, I guess Tama's WoW helper is going to tell me, is sort of filtered on just the quest lines that are going to give me rep, and so that should probably be a good enough guide to what I need to do. See, the thing is, I'm cheap, so I don't want to. I don't want to buy any more of those Dark Moon hats than I absolutely need to. But it is me, and I'm gonna be playing a mage, which I don't main. It's not on my main, and even if it was on my main, I usually die while trying to do world quests and things like that. They do give rep, but it's, yeah, like Seek said, it's only once per account. Oh, I should probably get the contract. Do the contracts also only give you contract rep once per world quest? I'm guessing it has to be, right? Or can you just degen grind all of your alts through world quests for 15 rep a pop? I mean, I'm guessing it is probably doesn't work that way, right? I made a group. Oh, I think I had an auctionator group, but I may have deleted it with all of the Dark Moon quest items. How much are these going for? 822 gold. Is that worth? I should probably wait until we're like level 79 to turn all those in. What earthen am I gonna make? Well, I haven't really done much of the max level campaign, so I don't think I have earthens unlocked either. I was low key considering using my level 70 boost to just boost, because I got a second one on my banker account right when I bought the War Within, and I haven't used it up yet. I actually did it right before the pre-patch because I realized that I could have used it to get myself a free level 68 evoker, but it didn't go through in time, and so I have that level 70 boost, and I'm low-key tempted to use it on an earthen, but I don't think the earthen get any profession bonuses, do they? I'll probably do the quest to, like, I'll do the quest to unlock the mount, because I think they get they unlock a mount for your account, which I'll do that. But I don't think I need to have a max level earthen for that, right? Although, who knows? They've time gated earthen so hard, I don't even get why. Like, if it's a feature that comes with the new expansion, why don't we have earthens at regular launch? I get like doing it. I get maybe they didn't want to do it during early access. I mean, it's still kind of weird, but fine. But if you want to play an earthen as your main in this expansion, you're going to be a week behind, right? I mean, the season only starts later on, I guess, but you'll have fewer bountiful delve keys and stuff like that. I mean, who cares? Again, I don't particularly care. But my point is, like, if there are min-maxers out there, it does seem kind of goofy that, like, I don't think they've ever done that before, right? Like, when TBC dropped, you could create a Blood Elf during the pre-patch even, I think, right? Like, it's weird, though. It's goofy that we didn't get the earthen during pre-patch. It's weird that it wasn't available during early access, but it's just straight stupid that they didn't release them with regular release. At least I think so. Hold up, I gotta take a screenshot. It sounds like Seek is defending Blizzard. What the hell is going on, man? Are you okay? Did you get hacked? What the heck is going on? Alright, fair enough. Anyone crying is just a bitch. Hey, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna stop talking. If Blizzard's the #1 fanboy is cool with it, we're good. Oh, I should probably have all the things switched on for in order to figure out what quest lines I need to do, right? For the Isle of Dornigal. All right, let's take a little bit of a break and then we'll come back. See you guys in like 5. Because how else am I gonna waste my Dark Moon buff? Alright, and we are back. We're back and we are actually going to farm some rep. Are there any other weekly quests that I need to do? I think I already did the meta quest. The question is if I bother doing... Well, I want to see the reputation quest just for the Isle of Dorn. Where is it? The War Within Helper. Let's disable questing. Well, yeah, I don't care about... So let's disable Ringing Deeps. Oh, okay. All these rep quests are just in the Isle of Dorn. Suppose I should do the one-time treasures and things like that as well while I'm at it. Yeah, there's plenty to do. See, I would be worried if I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people on Reddit and on the forums already whining that they've hit level 80 and there's nothing to do until the start of season 1. But at a certain point, right? Like, how seriously can you really take any of them? All right, we have our Dark Moon buff up. I suppose if I really wanted to be min-maxy with it, I could just have my alts riding along and completing these world quests in tandem, but I feel like it'll take longer, and I feel like I don't know if it'll save me 5. Like, I don't know if getting this tune to level 80 and getting the 5% buff will be more or less efficient than trying to do quests on both of them at the same time. What do y'all think? Because I could multi-box it and do all these world quests on 2 characters at once. Right? It's not going to help me with the renown, but at least they'll both get experience for a lot of the quests. Ooh, 15% war mode bonus. Heck yeah. Plus another 10% from the Dark Moon buff. So we are... Heck, we've already got the 25% buff up. Oh, I don't need any more pristine horns. I just need the little flower thingers. Sha-la-la-la, running around picking flowers. See, because now there's a part of my brain going, well, if I had done this on my herbalist, if I do this on my evoker, I can be herbing and mining while I'm doing these world quests. And that's more efficient. For all the talk of efficiency, I mean, you guys saw today we spent 3 hours on stream, literally tinkering around with Craft Sim, and that's what I spent most of my weekend doing as well. This is why the efficiency stuff really doesn't matter for me. I just need to get myself to actually do things, as opposed to trying to figure out efficient ways of doing things. All right, hopefully my mage can ruffle stomp these elites without too much difficulty, because we are still level 73. Okay, they hit pretty hard, not gonna lie, didn't like that. Are we gonna have to blink away out of danger? I love that I have Heckley, like the rotation helper, on screen, and I'm just completely ignoring it. Okay, and I think this is how we die and we lose our Dark Moon buff. Literally on our second world quest. Oh. Jeez. Oh no. Oh. Fair enough. We ran away from the elemental just to get ganked by a freaking alliance player. I may have to complete this world quest. Oh, but I need the rep. I need the rep bonus. I mean, it's not like I've done freaking. It's not like I've done any of the like I've been on top of the rares or anything like that I can really say that I've even been trying to min max my reputation gains. So the 10% Dark Moon buff is a drop in the bucket, right? That's what I get for texting in a PvP zone. Sorry, give me a second. Hold up, wait. I think what we said was the reason that we weren't going to do this today was because of the fact that it makes no difference. What we instead need to do is all the weekly tasks for all of our profession characters. I'm literally on my second world quest and I'm already like, reputation. They are all expiring in 22 hours. I think, all right, let's do this. Let's port to Thunder Bluff. Let's pick up the Dark Moon buff again. All right, we'll do the Dragon Riding quest and we'll do the Pet Battle quest, and maybe one or two of the story mode quests. The hell is the matter with this? Oh, I gotta fly to the other side of Thunder Bluff. I went the wrong way. Efficiency. Efficiency. Now I need to figure out what characters I have on my WoW 5 account, as in my second, on my banker account. This one's gonna have gathering, right? Goblin. Ooh, I could start doing alchemists. I should probably start doing my alchemists. There's big golden alchemy. There's big golden inscription too. I could start doing some of the alliance characters. Right? We have a Kulturin, we have a Drakthir, a gnome. The rest are all Valperas. And we have one goblin, two goblins at level 70. I haven't taken a look at alchemy yet. What are the different... As many times as I've been through them, I can never remember the profession bonus. Wow. Goldcraft.io. Alright. Let's see what this guy has to say. 5 skill to alchemy is goblin. 5 skill to blacksmithing is dark iron dwarf and light forged Drana. I don't have either of those. Cooking on the Pandaren, I need to do. I am planning on literally sticking cooking on my Pandaren because of the fact that they get that 5 skill bonus, which I don't know if that means they'll get additional. If that means they'll get additional quantity, because the whole way that cooking works is basically the higher your skill is, the more portions that you get. Right? So theoretically, also, by the way, I realized that while I was doing questing things on my second account, I should probably do some cooking on my main account and just have that going on in the background while I'm doing everything else. Oh, I need to do patron work orders as well on this dude. Right, let's go check our patron work orders real quick. I also need to figure out a jewel crafting build that I want to go with for this guy. Seek. Legendarism. Have you guys messed around with jewel crafting at all? If so, is there any big gold? It's just artisan's acuity. I mean, I'll take it. I can always use more. 100. Oh, I have 100. Well, I have 200 artisan's acuity. I can either use that for a jewel crafting knowledge book, because I have focused this character so much on enchanting that at a certain point I do need to also remember that this character does also have jewel crafting. But I was also thinking of buying one of the artisan's acuity recipes. I don't know, I'm in two minds. Low-key tempted to go just a profession crafting, profession tool crafting spec on my on this tune. I'm in two minds. I am confuzzled. I'm confuzzled on how to proceed. Anyway. All right, with that said, we've actually been streaming for like 4.5 hours at this point. So I think we may have to start wrapping up the stream here. And, oh no, I was asking, have you messed around with jewel crafting at all? Yeah, I mean, my main has jewel crafting. I haven't really been able to figure out what exactly I want to do with it. Right, I've been grinding out the knowledge points and just banking them, similar to what Legendarism was saying he's doing, or they're doing with their profession stuff. And I can't figure out what exactly I want to do. I am tempted to just go down the prospecting route and kind of, you know, go into this. I'm skeptical about going into jewelry crafting or into gem cutting as such. I may have alts that do the gem cutting stuff, but for my main, I want something that kind of scales well, that like is going to pay off for all, because I'm going to do every single quest and I'm going to get all the knowledge points and everything like that. Gem cutting may not be a bad choice for that, but I think gem cutting, honestly, with concentration builds, I am better off just having 4 jewel crafters and have one focused on each of these trees, and you know, I mean, it's really a difference of only about 20 points between each of these. So that means within a week or two, like within 2 weeks of maxing out one of these, you could probably get the second one and the third one. And so just having 4 jewel crafters, it'll be easy to knock this out in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks. And jewel crafting wasn't, I don't think jewel crafting was particularly expensive to level. I would need to check. Engineering and smithing. Yeah, fair enough. Leveling rogue, you'll do, you're gonna do jewel crafting on your, or I guess you have jewel crafting on your rogue. Fair enough. Anyways, with that said, I think we are gonna wrap up the stream here. So, like I said, we went through, I mean, we started off the stream by opening up, you know, all of our gold, going over how we made our first million in the War Within, which should hopefully be the first of many. Certainly seems to be, we certainly seem to be on track for that. But it hasn't been 24 hours. Dude, today's not the... I'm telling you, see, we will do a 24-hour stream. Believe you me. You gotta tell me when you have the time for it as well, because the terms of me doing a 24-hour stream was you need to be there with me for all 24 hours. So you gotta check and let me know when you've got 24 hours to spare as well. We will do a 24-hour stream at some point, probably. Okay, Sunday or Monday. Yeah, that works. But yeah, today's not going to be the 24-hour stream. I'll be honest with you. No, so we started off by looking over, what's been making us gold. I gave my thoughts on some of the changes and things like that. And then we spent a lot of time covering how I've been thinking about professions and how I have been going about picking builds and designing builds for what I want each of these characters to do. So hopefully, that gave some of you guys some insight into how to approach this entire profession thing. I think a lot of the content I've seen and a lot of the Reddit posts and stuff like that are prescribing specific builds. And while there is value in that to a degree, I think the risk you run is that everyone and their mother is going to be running the same build, right? Because if you watch that YouTube video, at least a dozen other people saw it and actually enacted that build, and so therefore the margins are just going to disappear. I think it's more important to understand how you come up with a build, and hopefully me walking through leatherworking today helped some of you guys in seeing how it's possible to do that and how we utilize craft sim, and how you want to go about putting together a low effort build versus a higher effort build. So hopefully that was of help. If it was, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching live. I think we are just down to Seek on Twitch, and I'm not sure if anyone's actually watching on YouTube. I see 3 viewers on YouTube actually, so thank you to all of you for joining us as well. But if you did find any help, right, drop a like on the video, or subscribe, follow, do all the things. And yeah, hopefully this week I should actually put aside some time and get back to editing some videos, and potentially some longer form videos as well. But let me know if there's any other topics in specific you guys are curious about, any professions in specific, or any other sorts of things that you guys are struggling with or would like some more insights into, and I'll be happy to create content related to that as well. With that said, I will see all of you lovely people on Wednesday. And yeah, hopefully we won't be doing as many chores, although given the fact that it'll be the day after reset, I'm sure there will still be a healthy amount of chores that we still need to do. But maybe we'll set up professions on some more characters, something like that, depending on what else is left. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much. Thank you as always, Seek. Thank you, Legendarism. I'm not sure if you're still around, but if so, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for keeping it fun and interactive. Thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube as well. And with that said, may the RNG gods be with you. But we're going to wrap up the stream here. Take care. Best of luck, Seek. Hopefully the RNG gods are ever in your favor. All right, with that said, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.